No, hey, no, hey, no, hey, no.
Evo zdaj streamam.
Ne. Ok, zdaj.
Ja boš prvi napisal kaj. A veš?
Jo. Ja, sem ve.
Jo. Kar prvi. Koliko je
Ja,
delaya,
itak.
koliko je delaya. Čist
Čakaj.
naprej. Oj, koliko.
Čakaj. Ra.
Čist naprej.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 do 7 sekund.
Ok, pol dober. Playing Fortnite. Late game.
Playing Fortnite with Pony Road to best subs. Dobro.
Čakaj, da dam še late game arena.
Ja.
Sem pa raba še enega. Evo. Evo Pony reč kaj. Pony ne sliši se te, by the way.
Evo me, evo me.
Sliši.
Ja, sem šel neki samo reči.
Čakaj, da naredim. Čakaj. Naredil bom še to. Še ta
Mislim, kar
pool
tako,
bom
mislim,
naredil.
Ok.
Kaj
Ok.
dam?
Mislim, tak ne bom še naš.
Čakaj, da bom...
Playing late game Fortnite. Late game arena. Uj, to. Vrana te invite.
Ja, dolgo invitem bomo šli.
Da fuck je ta. Ej, prvi
Te
si ti
Bine.
še like stisne. Ja sem Bine. I vozim kadolo.
A si videl?
Poglejgama se. Koga, če sem videl?
Če si videl... Če si videl to...
Muzika?
Anketa, če dela. Pool.
Ne, čakaj. Čakaj, nekaj ne me.
No. Bine!
Ja, dela.
Ja, lik sem
Ja.
začel streamat, bomo šli creative pol pa late game. Ok. Kaj si pa dal? Pik v areni. 8000 neki. Kar imam tam. Da bi ne paid like at stream, a veš?
Dela pul za...
Čakaj. Bi ne veš, da idu FNCS naslednje leto. Samo moram si dati sound effects, samo bolj nagle.
A v chapterju 3.
Ja. Ne, sam naslednje leto, se pravi 4 FNCS-i.
World Cup bi mogel biti tako vsak chapter.
Ja. Ampak,
Samo da se enkrat na leto je prav dobro, da je.
ja.
Vse nekaj na let.
Je dober.
Ja, ne.
30 sme.
Ja, jaz sem se tudi 30.
Ja, sej.
Kva
Ti si
igrate?
me creative.
Pa zamrznem, pol bomo šli late game areno. Če Zanze.
Bom še napisal with Bine, samo.
Zanze.
Aha.
Jaz sem prej isto winil prvi game solo arena late game s 5 kile.
Nice.
Pravim, koliko imaš lajkov za loterijo? A je
3.
dober, da je FNCS naslednjo leto, yes, da.
Ja, tu FNCS. To je god.
Very good.
Good. Si?
Everywhere. What? Zakaj to tu si bilo?
Ja, kar s prve ti ne podre.
Everywhere I go, all my niggas wear the capes.
Wow, chill out. A so...
Je najbolj.
Je najboljš zikar
Zero
Spotify. Najboljš.
Sneaky.
You sneaky, yes. Bird.
Oh my
Si
god.
tak angry
So.
bird.
Yo, Anta. Yo. Anto,
mene pa ni pozdravil.
Anto, s tabo že dolgo časa nisem igral. Še se te spomnim.
Kdo je v chatu?
Joe mala.
Enkrat smo bili enkrat z njim trije, sem tako ful časa nazaj.
Conan? Ne, glej, ne pusti Maja, tudi če sem low.
Ja, kaj ne brez.
Ja,
Ja! Ja!
Timba.
Kako ga dobiš?
Chill out. Chill out, baby. My height now.
Samo normalno rutina.
Ti pa je bil Conan. In jaz sem bil.
Ja, sej to. Zu.
Don't leave that open.
Ej, zanzi.
Mm.
Ta Bine te je kar za 69 z 10 metrov, pa čez bi ti naredil 20.
Bine, a ti gledaš moj stream zdaj?
Ja.
A, kaj imaš v background?
Bi še gledal zanzi o stream.
Sej to. Hec. Bine god. To moraš samo v backgroundu gledaš in pa tako nabiraš ure. Kar je god.
Pač come on, pač če gre tako v
Ja.
banane, pa reži točko.
Ja, če si na sredini. Imagine, da ti ni vola za buildal.
Ja se, a ne da, imagine.
Ja.
Imagine, se to res ni zgodilo.
What? Pa lik sem si hotel v hopo praskat, no. Pismo, no. In to sem lik delal, no. Zdaj si ga moram še. Ampak.
Ja, najbolj, no?
Ne! Switchal mi je na minje, na moj snajer. A veš.
Se bojiš. Se če ne, sploh ti keksa ne bi.
Odvisno. Če imel dober aim, a veš.
1, 2, 3, bolaka bom bom.
Ne si mi rolling.
Boxan.
Ne! Bino, ti bi bil kliban, če vidite 200. No. Pa je pa naredil god on face, on stairs, ja veš. No, let's go.
Come on.
Come on.
Ej, zdaj veš, kako to bi bilo tam nedo. Klipaš, ne, zanzi? In bolj postaviš enega malčka, ka se skriva za stopnicami.
Ja, to je to, a veš.
Ja, najboljš, ne? In bolj ta zanzi z zero pingom.
Ne! Imagine, da bi bil.
Ne! In več od zanzi, da sem te ubil.
Čak, jaz moram stream pošerat, ker nisem. V Borislav server bom poslal, pa bom taggo everyone, okej? Čakaj.
Ja, najbolj za me zadene kar za 8, no?
Pa še vskot po fucking server.
O, kako sem te jaz to follow?
Ne, kako mi ni wall zabuildal. Imagine. Majke ti.
Majke mi. V zanzi godi.
Bine,
Nice side doing it.
you will not.
Oče.
Bine, to je to cringe, ne boš dobil high grounda.
Zato grem pa dol. Ne! Imagine! Oh!
No! What?
What?
What je bilo to?
Konec je zvok.
Ja, lej, poglej na stream, lahko daš nazaj stream. Stream lahko daš nazaj. Pa boš videl. What the fuck je bilo to?
What?
A si videl?
Na, to je cat, strej.
Zanzi zero pinga. Mozilla cry.
O, moj bog, shit on
Ne, sem mislil, da so na moji stars. Polni, to je pa malo več časa trajalo. Ne,
What?
polni.
Chiude se colleghiamo tu i bambini dell'area.
Aspetta come ne connette.
Nino, I can get you this.
Ja, kar... Lezio.
Mini, flampercini.
A ja, what?
Ja, to je pa moje.
Če sem mislil, da si še zmer kar hore v boksu.
Damo pa še late game.
Gremo delati Maxa v play.
Ja, Maxov play.
O!
Spray.
Ajde, de.
Okej, ve. Maxov
No
play.
like.
Ja, če to je res Maxov play, pol Maxov vsi sprejejo. Let's go.
34.
Ja, pol ima 30. Vsi sem videl. Upal sem, da me ne boš kaj več. Da je Max play.
Pa sem mislil, da bom vsaki zadev.
Just stairs.
Ja sam to sem ti full late play naredil. Le si se lepo konzervate in pa sem se sam vzal. Jaz kad tako, kad nekoga ubijem, sam hitro ne stream pogledam.
Ajmo še tebe.
Se veš, da so zdaj obadat?
Zakaj ste oba dead?
Ja,
Ja, boš
se
pa
to,
šel ti.
zato ker...
A. Kaj ste se tradala?
Ja. In pa me je tam neki zavlačil, da sem crkvi. Glej, kako karma.
Če ne morem... 107.
Sem te 200.
There's a shady down here.
Če ne moreš, ka se...
Ja, mag.
Se prejdeš demi, če najslabši, ka prideš pol še ti.
Ja.
Ne. In si s tem tvojim zero pingom.
Ej, a gremo pa late game. A pa teh
Počakaj,
rundah.
A boš video naredil?
Ne, če streama.
O, jaz sem kar plesati.
Sem že en video naredil. Sem ga objavil.
Sem videl, da se vidim.
Kar v angleščini.
Vsi to.
34, very...
Zdaj pa še zanzi. Ja, no way.
No, zero ping. Let's go.
Zero ping rečo.
Sam...
To sem čok.
Ja, se kar ne bo dobil.
Jaz to. A veš. What, ti ski? Ti si ga zadev. Po njom te je zadev.
What?
Dejansko.
Kva?
Ne, pač
ni
me
bil
nič,
hit.
sem se na 50 pohidel.
Ne, zadev te je pol.
Ja,
Ker sem videl, da je strel še direktno tam.
Ne! Se če skozi to delam, nič ne rešim. Oho!
Itak nima mete, da se pravi.
What the fuck, pony high sense.
Ma niti ne.
Uh,
34!
tako zelo
Na
umar.
srečo, da je
34, what the hell? 34.
34 OP. OG.
Ja, se to.
OG. OG.
Kaj tam nekdo nek čuden stradila? Free Fire. 52. Daj no, pač.
Jaz sem ga pa kovno.
Pač ne, to pa prav bedno. Pač to je res
Ja,
bedno,
jaz
ko
te
nekdo
pušam,
to
pa te on
dela.
začne sprejati.
Pač ni razloga.
Stoja?
Ja, leta.
No,
Če mi...
če bilo to 200, no.
Karma je
Karma.
rekla.
Let's go. Se karma.
Če bi ti kle
Sekam.
200 naredili, bi bil klip.
Ja.
Če.
Ja, sej.
Samo zmeraj pa čel vmes.
Če čebula ne bi imela, če bi bila samo bula.
To je to.
Veš.
Ne bo zgubo haja.
Šiu. Vi ne hoče hajt, ka ne vem kaj. Jaz sem pa dubo hajt, zasral se hajt. Hihihiha.
Ja, ne, ko mi gre toliko na živce, ko mi se umstreje.
Ja, loj, mene tudi.
Ko mi je podaril, nisem mogel videti.
Sploh te nisem podal.
Jaz sem
Kako nisem mogel
Itek bom
videti?
umrl. What the fuck is going on here?
Oh my.
I just got a bra moment. Jaz zdaj nimam kaj mecov, no. Sem vse porabil.
Še dol pa.
No. Če nisem imel izbire. Like what the fuck, bro? They play my late game. Late game.
Gremo.
Right. Pa še 5 rund. Logan, kar spreja. Da čez nariš. Ajde, blue metal. Krekan.
Jaz sem ga
Sprej. Sprej.
Ne,
Zdaj-
ne, Lazar.
Zdaj ima pa ponja sprejala, veš. Vineta sprejema. Okej, to ne bo delovalo.
Je ta zero ping pač.
Si to.
Pa če ni, a stignil ta vol.
Ja, jaz sem je ta volja.
Ja, pa nisi.
Zdaj sem ta volja, veš, nič, zero ping. Ki sem jedel, da bo šel tja. In oba sva istočasno ta vol hotla. Sem ga izdobil. In ne boš dobil hajta. A veš. Zdaj ne bo poni svet podaril. Tako da ne contesta.
Imagine. What?
Imagine, da nič nismo od tega. Imagine.
Imagine, da sem oba zadev 40.
Ja, se to.
Imagine, da mi naredili 34.
Imagine, da ne bom sprejel. Ali pač.
Te je pač umet.
Skor si me zadev. High ground OP. High ground OP now. Oh, you dropped. You just got dropped out of my trio.
You just got cheated, so...
So... Nisem dobil bine ta healov, pa ta... Tako da...
Oh my
Pa
god.
mecov.
Kaj je to?
Imam pa več mecov, kar pa vem. Ko imam še full metal, pa 100 vod.
Jaz še kar nisem navajen na svetem, da to da.
Ne.
To bi me klipo. Ej, a nisi... A imaš scroll wheel reset, to si navajen?
Ja, to sem že dost.
Ker to je god. Ko si še navajen. Full dobro.
Pa zdaj sem...
Imagine, da ti nisem prevzel.
Imagine, da gre ta z...
Si?
Imagine, da sem mu iz odzadje pršel.
Mislim, da smo 30 videl.
Imagine, da sem te
Imagine, da me
30 zadel. Spet.
Mislim, da me 30 zade.
To tudi imagine. Imagine, da skozi govorimo imagine. Imagine, da te nisem ubil.
Ajde. Če me meni kdaj ki ustredila. Imagine, da imaš zero pinga.
Imagine, da me zero pinga.
Imagine, da...
Imagine, da si ga zadel čez staro.
Imagine, da res.
Imagine, da igraš Fortnite.
Ja, znam se.
Imagine, da bom imel high. In imagine, da bo zan vreten komplet. Imagine, da bom podaril ponjo.
Imagine, da sem AFK in imagine, da nisem.
In imagine, da sem dobil 3 kadin.
Imagine, da sem ga 60 zadel.
Ja, imagine, da me je res podaril.
Jaz sploh ne podiram, by the way.
Na?
Jaz tudi ne.
Imagine, da dejansko klažeš.
Ja.
Čak, da se pominjam, čilere.
No, no. I will not chill here.
Ti pa nehi dobivati high kdorkoli zjeto.
Imagine, da gram Soros, da dobim kaj.
What? Imagine, da sem dobil
Imagine-
full damage, če sem nekaj gledal.
Ej, jaz sem bil tako stairs, floors.
Imagine,
ne,
da
all
bom Bineta
stairs.
podaril. Imagine, da ni umrl.
Imagine, da ima one HP.
Imagine, da govoriš.
Imagine, da boš umoril.
Imagine, da ne.
Imagine, da si fejzal čez wall. Imagine, da sem padel, ker mi ni
Imagine-
flora
Imagine, da nisem umrl. Pogledaj, grem, kako si umrl. Oooo! Vem, si še 500 metala.
Ja, vem.
Imagine, da umreš, ko imaš meca. To je kar na unhada že.
Tako, zakaj ni jutr solo cash kapa, to je tako beden. Ker z Binetom vibava, ker je solo cash kapa, ker me Bine tudi coacha, no.
Imagine, da sta oba dva one HP.
Imagine, da sem te 190. Imagine, da ne vem, iz kje si prši.
Ile so na tako.
Ja. Imagine, da si dobil moja ripa.
Imagine da ga čakam, kam ima nekaj.
Imagine, da sem te auto klipat in imagine, da sem ti one bubble. Na streamu to zgleda tako klinke sploh, ker ti ne kaže kako editaš.
Ja. Taki.
What je? Gli kar sem ti blokal.
So what can I say? It's just a day in my
Zakaj
life.
tega nisem mogel editati?
Imagine da Zanzi sprema majke.
Imagine da je pony one.
Imagine da sem dead. Ok. Not yet. Imagine da bom pustil Zanzija da me ubije.
Imagine da ne moreš editati. Imagine da sem te zadev. Imagine da še nisi umrl. Imagine da me streljajo iz zona. Imagine da sem ga
Dej mjer se nazaj. S tem imagine, ko govoriš ti to vsako besedo.
vem. To je content.
Content, we love content.
Kako postati za bit
No content, no fun.
No content, no denar.
Zanzi,
Kaj?
To delamo za denar.
kako postati neumen part 2.
Part 2, what do you mean?
Ja. Ne! Oh!
Kako ti nisi padel dol?
Imagine da bo Zanzi zmahal.
Jaz si to imagine, ker imam še full mecov.
Ne se on tudi.
Aja.
Ja.
Imagine da bo še 3 bilde. 0 bildov. Dej Zanzi, prid dol, no. Ne upaš.
Imagine da moram samo stormu ostati.
Zanzi, ne upa, prid dol. Imagine da si pusi. Imagine da
Imagine da bom
Zanzi.
zgubil. Ker nimam rib.
Ja, se on tudi ne.
Oh!
Ja, imagine...
To! Yeah, baby! Kako sem te to slog zadev, da?
Ajde, livi.
Je tako biti kot te umori, ti če me ne zgodijo. Kaj gremo, late game ali navadno areno?
Late game. A pa navadno. A gremo navadno.
Ja, gremo navadno.
A poni,
Meni je vsien.
trpimo navadno, kaj boljše. A veš, kaj da mi več kilo. Jaz sem dal ta skin.
Imagine da moraš tako hrtski. Deka tam še jaz.
Imagine ta, kaj boš dal.
Zanzi pokaz locker.
Imagine da sem dal ta skin.
Imagine da bom zamenjal.
Pokaz locker.
Ok, le moj locker. Lej, veš, to so skini, je vidiš, veš. Ja,
Imagine da
sam si
nisem
vse
mogel zamenjati.
Kva imaš ti unga Rick and Mortija?
Ja, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty.
Rekli si da je Carnage dober.
Carnage OP.
Šest lajkov imaš že.
Imagine da imam god
Danes
combo.
smo mi sam 15 minut igrali po strani. Sem rekel, da smo pol 15.
Se to. Imagine da imam ta skin, pa imam to zlato.
Zanzi,
Imagine da sem 190 level.
imagine da imam god combo. Kao nema.
Imagine da gremo v Cragija.
Kam pa naj gremo, imagine?
Imagine da gremo res
Sem.
v Cragija.
Imagine da gremo Viping.
Ne gremo
Imagine da gremo
piramida.
res Viping. Imagine da gremo res v The Pyramid. Imagine da ne vem kam gremo.
V Viping gremo.
Imagine da vem kam gremo.
Imagine da govoriš imagine.
Ju.
Imagine da si ti
V chatu,
rekla,
dva
imagine.
ista messagea. Ju. Ja, veš da Y O pomeni ju.
Imagine da jih bomo shitonali. Pač tako. Pa imagine da je en Travis Scott. No, pickaxe fight ga grem, ker sem najboljši player. Sam gledajte.
Imagine the main contesta.
Imagine da sploh ne bo landil na to bajto.
Imagine da Zanzi, da nisem stilil. Oh. Stil, brat. Imagine da ima uni 2 na sebe. Zanzi imam shotgun za tebe.
Vane, nokan, na meni nokan,
Nice.
pa mi pa teammate ubil.
Peva k njemu hitro.
Ja,
Rama.
reze ga bo itak. Reze
Sam
ga
peva.
bo.
Pa ga briga.
Ne,
Sam pošalj.
nehoj rezat, da jih zabildal. Zdaj, ja,
Ampak bo pa low, pa splashe imam. Pa en mini poni.
ja, to ima neke bandiđe, kle gor. Glih kar ga je rezal. Ja,
Poni chill.
ta tip ni nokan. Pazi, Travis.
Poni chill.
V cel trio lahko v easy ubije ta.
One će
Poni
pisa.
chill.
Pazi,
Ja.
v
Poni
trio.
prihajam. Pridi da ti dam
Splashita
mini.
se.
Jaz se pa
Splashiš.
mini, ne.
Mata jih, ker so vsi full low.
Znaš pa še ti?
Pazi, za tabo, od spodaj.
A.
Tle gre od spodaj.
Imagine, da sem vedel, da bo tle prišel, pa sem ga prebral.
Imagine, da res.
Imagine, da je še Travis tle.
Travis je really low.
What? En je še tam. Če na men so vsi. Imagine, da je en
Kaj
krekan.
bilo,
Oh, my dog. Nice.
Finish it fast.
Ne moram. A imagine...
Imagine, da jih boš ubil. Si dva noka.
Rib, gremo na.
Dobar dan.
Ili veš, kako sem... Jaz sem...
Malo sem brčil.
Ja. Zgubu. Vrana lol. Kdaj si boš spremenil ime? Jaz si lahko spremenim ime, kaj si dam?
Jaz tudi. Dej... Ne vem, kaj si dava.
O, FNCS Grand Finali bojo, čez 1 uro.
Ja.
Od 5:50. Pa bom lahko streamal to, kam gledal.
Poglej prize,
Pa bom to
prize,
gledal, pa bom
poglej
streamal,
prize.
to je god.
Poglej prize.
Ja vem, prvi dobi 300, ne 200 tisoč vsak, no. Če si prvi.
Probably a bad cop. Chopper, chopper, chopper.
Imagine.
Kam gremo? Kregi.
Imagine, da sem ubil dva in da nisem ubil.
You think si jo jev. Ja,
Krege,
lahko.
ali?
Ja, krege. You think si, kako kaj.
Imagine, da je hrejen tim.
Imagine, da nekaj jem.
Imagine, da mi je zmanjkalo za pit. God drop za maina, ne, niti ne. Ta bajta, jaz grem ta bajta.
Kon smo.
Ja.
Tog bad landing imajo, da so tam posebej.
O, bože. Jaz jih sploh vidim, ne?
Ja, ne ungre probably stilti.
Ej, en gre Flopper Island.
Zdaj to mu kill.
Zdaj bomo pušili pač. Ja, Flopper Island stealthy, 100%.
Ja, vse.
Ah,
Kada so neki skrimi.
Yep. Imagine, da sem dobil blue pump.
Imagine, da v navadni areni igra split drope.
Majke me. Jaz sploh ne, pač ne vem. Zdaj, ki bi igral split drop.
Pa bolj to imajo te dober, ko imaš veliko luta. To igraš. To
Ja,
igrajo.
dobro, ki imaš.
V Grand Finalih to igrajo, ker tam je itak vsi določeni, ki jih do
In
luta. no.
ki je to? Grand Final Arena ali kaj?
FNCS.
Ja.
Pa vejo, da tam ne bo dobenega pol.
Tle lahko kupiste blue pumpo.
je samo veš v areni igraš.
Imaš
to ni
3, ja.
nobenega.
Ne, tim si nimam triota.
A, ma nisi več boram in z onim.
Ne.
Why not?
12 z Borislavom.
Duo imam, duo je bine, a ne bine.
Yes sir, bro.
Due bine.
Sunt 3 ani.
Aveți...
Pa bine je vrana, lol.
Se vem.
Ej, tako, prej sem imela 240 na handikapu, zdaj pa 260. Zdaj. Ne, pridite vsi pogledat, kaj sem dobil iz Epic Chesta. Zelo,
Spet.
zelo dobro. Ajde,
Zir kak spes.
Yep.
I love it, bro. Bro. You didn't just do that. Kaj imaš blubam?
Ok.
Kje si vzel pesmo za me?
Ja, zato, ker nisem zloben.
Zanzi, kje je dol?
A gremo zdaj unga kje, tisno. Kaj itak, on bo še 10 ur porabil, da bo fišal.
Samo on je že itak šel, kaj pa. Ko
Ja,
nima.
mi se sam tudi uno full da vplutaš pa to.
Gremo pa malo samo zono.
No ne.
Pa v riski bo folk, pa gremo v riski pušat.
Ok, premorijski.
Pa lej, tega znaka ne more ta avto porušati, to je cringe.
Cringe, bro. Gremo za...
Lej, ne more to porušati, končno. Daj na en drug voz. Avto je boljši.
Farmaj,
Do my friend request
Lahko farmaš.
things, ja.
Se me bi lahko tam še kube stas.
Aha.
V riski, a veš.
Ja. Fire dude, Ja, Zanzon je že champ, ja, točno.
Koliko je vir, da je 7,500 cent?
Jep.
Še Benji Fish je
Imagine,
rekel,
da sem
ne
jaz
more
padel
priti
iz
sem.
8,500 €.
Ej, pred nami! 25 tvoj!
Fajti.
25 tvoj!
Sam sprej.
Imagine, da jih bomo ubili. Imagine, da me je zadev en.
Imagine, da je lagging. Ne vem zakaj. Imagine, da ga bom vsaj jumpil.
Imagine, da sem unga tam
Ne.
zadev 80.
Sej kam. Ja, eno ribo sem tam dol. Videl.
Ja, vem,
Čisto.
on sem 80.
Ja, gor gre.
Jaz imam 6,7,
To.
kaj.
20,
Nice.
krekano.
Lost je.
Yep.
Ej, jaz sam grem, pejte video na avto zdaj.
Ja, mi da se šta... Ej,
Hej, šejkam teammate tle, gleda se mi zdi.
A si en?
Ej, tam je teammate, veš.
Ja.
Tam, zadaj.
Pejmo z unim avtom.
Ja, pej. A naj jaz vozem, ko vem, kam je šel.
Ja, sam voz.
Ta je šel.
Ja, ti od tisti tipa. Gleda. Imagine, da ne moraš podreti, aha.
Saj to.
Imagine, da me to dela to
Lega, ti imaš nov pisanje, ali imaš tvika, ne nov
Daj
pisanje.
to, Marija. Kva?
PC 1660 Ti
Skriva se v
50.400.
bušu. To je logično.
Ja, pa malo se skriva boš, ja.
Zdaj sam en fizik sklevam.
Ja, vem, 30 3D resolucija. Bine, a veš, kad sem imel 3D resolucijo, tako 30 most. Ej, tam se fajtajo.
Ja,
Nočem.
pejte me sam.
Pa 144 Hz.
Minije nimajo velikilov.
Jedan skozi.
Rekan,
Krekan.
Nice.
na mene, boxem
Ja.
imam.
Krekan.
Krekan, white! Ne, tle sta dva. Ej, še en je tle, what? Kako sem to umrl? Što poni? Sem mislil, da sta dva na ponju, sem tako rekel.
Sigurno.
Sem... Shit PC, sedem... Nice, fajlat.
A si
Ej,
ga
mi se
bo?
ti bo zboljšal.
Da?
Nice.
Veš,
Ej, a
koliko
unga
tam
si
je
finišil, bine?
Ja.
Nisi ga, a ja, si ga.
Sam tam ima un minigun. Veš, ko tu fast.
Ja, vem, meni so.
Okej, spet,
Kill
no.
se.
Pa monitor, ja, nice.
Pazi.
Kaj lega, stream.
Ne lega.
Ja, ime den... Ja, what?
Metal.
Ama kapica kak tim še. Ne, nima. Ljivo je.
Skrivi se.
Mojem da tim si invajta. Jaz sem invajta, da ga vprašam kaj hoče, no. Se, ja bom rekel, da zdaj gramo mi. Ja, kapica fell off. Kapica se je zapustil z Valorantom. Ponja, ti si pol tega ubil.
Ja, en hak.
Sam tek
Da ga Jinxi. Evo.
Gre igrati kaj?
Ej, prijem.
Kaj je?
Gre igrati kaj? Če gre kaj igrati?
Ne vem, zdaj igramo 3 areno.
Nice.
Lahko malo kasneje gremo.
Ti imaš res nekom že?
Ja, jaz sem nov komp, ja, že zdavnje. 10. oktobra sem ga dobil.
Nice.
Kurba, removi vse te futbolščine in što. Veš, ne se, ja bom enkrat
Sem
fajn.
videl tvojo montažo, da je bila dosti boljša kvaliteta, ne?
Ej,
Ja,
Zanzi.
sej.
A boš vrem kar od tle, riski, ja?
Lahko, ja.
Tek dela
No, si
povena.
dobo kaj, ko imaš...
Moj ribot može biti.
komp PR-ja, kaj?
Ja, kaj.
Ja, zdaj imam 37 PR-ja, ne jo.
Nice.
Riski, ja. Opet
Evo.
riski.
Kje si kralj, kje si
Zanj
Janik. Musi šolc, lezi v.
Janik, kaj Janik je tle.
Očeta. Pozdrav ga bino. Napiš mu očet,
Ja,
a veš.
Sej me sliš.
Janik je rekel, da je bila fiska easy. Sem ga dobil v DH, v Dreamhack si dobil Paradise. Lajkajte pa subite, ja, si to. Janik ti je napisal, kje si bine. Bine.
Kje? Od Janik.
Ja, v chatu, ja.
Tam ste vsak domin, ja?
Kaj...
A ne greš več stream.
Ja, gledam, sem tako late je. Late, tako
Ja,
vse.
ja, saj
Ali
fiska je
Zanzi?
chiller, ne moram se.
Zanzi, ti veš kaj, mogoče s tvojim Fortniteom narobe? Pač ono, to je tak brok, jaz vse slišim prek mojih slušalk na kjerkoli druge, razno Fortnite. Vse sem že vse resetiral, vse. Špina delo.
Firedor, ko mu je moderator, mislim tako avtomatsko mu je skill message, pa sem mu odobril message, že kaj napisal. A veš. Te počakaj bine, no. Ali
Če
zdaj pa
raven na luč,
švicati, ja. Try hard mode on.
O, je luta.
Ja, tako.
Pa daj jaz sam še kaj
Ja,
luta,
Zanzi.
no. Hvala lepa.
A ja, znam ti,
Ja, jaz sem bil
Zanzi.
tudi ribota.
Zanzi,
jaz mislim, da je.
tle hor se mi zdi, o, je zdaj zona.
Ohoho. Uživam v tem.
Zona je pa god.
Zanzi.
Mam. Daj
Max
pritava,
Metala je bilo to,
lahko te
Max
banem, lol. Ja, ne ga banem, si se sem zajebava.
Pa to. Da bi not.
Jaz se moram medkitati na en drug voz. Kar big shield. Big shield nisi pobral.
Da gram tle, rečem.
Se jaz tudi, ja vem, Janik. Sarkazem, you know the vibes. Da gremo nov Riley zdiš, tam je folk.
Ja, dej, ima kdo metke? Zdaj je.
Ja, imam.
Ne, jaz imam 30. Za shotgun imam pa 5.
Shotgun imam 5.
Ne. A, jaz sem
Hihihiha.
ti dal.
Ramza AR, kam imam 30.
Na
Hihihi.
lol.
Ej, Janik, a si ti igral že Clash Royale Royal Tournament? Eni tle gleda.
Predajo.
Ja, tle.
Evo,
Hihihiha.
moramo da,
Ja.
Igrim klep pobiga. A gremo te fight, prej pojmo te fightat.
Kaj Ferdud ne morem te zdaj dijemo.
Pojmo te fightat.
Zanzi,
Ja. Je tam ne
Imagine, da bom
naredim.
kresničke vrgu. Imagine, da imajo spes.
Dobro, Ferdud tam pa te igri. Gde gre?
Imagine da imajo
Telefon
čili
mi je
pepperja.
s fokusa, ja.
Ej,
Kaj mi bi zmagali War, če bi ti igral
O, Bože.
polon.
Pazi, Zanzi.
Alo, Zanzi, ti imaš narejenega bota
Kakšnega bota?
v chatu.
Ja, imam.
Imaš?
Sem ne da kaj piše.
Pome pa sem.
Ne preklini.
Zanzi, pazi,
Ne.
pazi, sem.
Ampak. What?
Imagine. Ti pa mi je letel skozi
Do
vse
it
vode.
up fire, dude.
Ampak.
Ja, o,
Ferdud nimam za top.
Ti pa mi je letel
Am,
skozi
muka.
vse vode.
Ej, a lahko še enega invitam, a lahko še enega invitam.
Ja, kaj bomo pol šli? Janik, jaz sem ena v temu. Ja, ripoza. Ripoza. Sem ena v Royal Tournamentu. Ja, invajti droga, no. To marihuano. Ale. Let's go. Pa še Borislav bom invajtil. Borislav je tak čuden.
In gremo 3 na 3 pol.
Lepo. Ja.
Oh.
Če en mi z gajdekom premagal.
Mojega duha to invajtam čalo.
Vi ne boš...
Pa še droga zi.
3 je slav bot. Boho. Ej, jaz...
Ja, Janik, ti
sem
kar,
bil
ti kar.
operativno.
Ajde,
Alo,
ajde. Daj Ferdud te DM-am. Če si še na streamu.
alo, ti Zanzi.
Mm.
To ti link, ko sem ti ga v chat dal, ne? Skupiri si ga, pa če lahko reš tudi Discord. Pred 3 dnevi smo ga naredili, če igraš Sharpie.
3 imaš ti.
Ja. Spread lajkat. Ej.
Ej,
Ne, ej.
reče nimam, da grejo lajkat.
Ja. Vsi lajkat.
Fortnite game arena već poni bine.
Drugs in...
Like my stream. Droga pa droksi. Yes. Droksi Zanzi.
10 lajkov imaš,
Mora-
zdaj imaš 10 lajkov.
Mislim,
Ti kreativ, Zanzi.
ja, a nisem dal kreativno. Evo.
Ti ali kaj?
Zakaj me kličeš? Ja.
Grand Royale je ob 6, to je tako imagine.
Kaj je?
Neki
Zakaj?
Alo, 4 na 4, alo ti, kde čao, kaj si?
Dej,
Dej 4 na 4, da sa.
poglej v chat.
Bomo šli fines realistike. Zdaj do enega več ne več.
Kjer chat? A ja.
Donacije, stari Minecraft, stari namerao.
Ja, doniraj mi.
Gdje rekao?
Euro za pravu.
Zapadena domca, ja. Zgana domzi, ker se ni zahvalil.
Euro.
Se je dobil si 120 view, ali kako.
Ja pa sem zbrisal video.
No zakaj? Ja. To je bil legendaren.
Če ne, ste po svoje.
Gajde.
Right, I need you now, please. Why, what for? Look, you still remember everything from philosophy last semester, right? Yeah? Okay, perfect. Okay,
Jaz kot starš se ne strinjam in ne dovolim, da se moj otrok
Amadela.
Dej game arena video.
ni šans.
Gdje sem spremenil ime?
2 ure.
Pa še...
Ti, jaz ti tijam pa.
Jaz kot starš
Dej, ker ne vidim tvojega imena, ti, Luffy Cifi, pa si ta. Oh, I'm not giving you a hug, bro, you cringe.
Jaz sem Zanzi, vem, da je dobro.
To. Vsi join.
Si
Ja,
mrzljiv, cen.
kaj Boris je dal svoj Discord na pomaj.
Drogs, a ti tako klikneš, a veš, na miški s to rolco? A ti klikneš z kazalcem ali sredincem?
Jaz sredincem kliknem, to rola, čudna.
Jaz sem s kazalcem. Dobar, da je duha.
Jaz itak miško mal drugač držim, tako da.
Ti,
Kak zagrival?
pejcem.
Čakaj, jaz moram še prijet not.
Ti, Lucifi, ali ti, pej sem.
Pa kdo je starto? A, ne, what?
Ni, Zanzi,
Ajde, pej sem, pej.
Ker je ta anonimas,
A
kaj
moram
zove.
kdo povedati, ker
XZ.
kliknem sem.
Pa se še
A mo-
motor. A ja.
Pa ta si v drug.
Ti, skin krava, prid k nam.
Tink si ti moraš tja, se mi zdi.
Božičev, trelelej.
Pa zakaj si mi z Borislavom, to čiz noriš, ampak dober.
Ajde, star.
Ja, ne da to čiz noriš, če sem z Borislavom.
Ta X. Je.
Če je anonimas, pa je dober. Tako kaj. Jec. Upam, da je dober, če ne smo pušili. Ker je Borislav slab, tako da. Se ne, Borislav ni slab, je pa najslabši tle.
eden je bil velik.
Bine one. Ja.
Mene Ergo laserov.
Pravite sem ne umre, tako. Naj sponi.
What the fuck, kar od zadaj.
Mama hide. Dead.
Pisa ti materna nima res, ej. Dijan, sem neki po...
30. Dead. Let's go. Poni kar 870 damage.
Dokler ne začneš govoriti res, ej.
Štiri gledalce, imaš 20 lajkov in vse.
Vse to.
Temu.
To je insane.
Zmenil sem se že z Vrano. In je rekel ja. Pa nehi.
Kaj je to?
Klikov. No te bojo on.
Ja, bile ta sprejemo mi.
50.
O, jaz sem skoraj padel dol. Kraken.
Oreška ni nobenega.
Če, ja sej, 3 smo šli na drogsa, no. Doben mu ne helpa.
Ga nimaš nekaj dol? Ne pridem. Pridem! Ne pridem! Dol.
Mislim, da nima.
Ko, kaks? Jaz streljam marshmallow, te.
Simon zero man.
I'm back.
Nima meca.
Ja imagine da se tudi dreven skrivaš.
Taj pa low, bine low, pa nima.
Da. Ej, koliko folka je še živi?
Ja, še eden.
Vana. Daj mu shielda, zanji ti mu XZ.
Mana. Ne, tam čez gore ne mora.
Gdje samo pušija, znam.
A, še Tink si je
Mama
živ.
slednja.
O,
Ali on HP.
okay, let's go. GG.
Sem spet testo damage.
Mama ih. Ej, daj vidi da govorite.
Jaz sem chili flash.
Sleepy,
Te sem
Ga bom fucking umrl, daj.
sem zato, ko hoče iti areno. Dobil te bomo v čem, pa ne, hej.
Sam se. Spet sem.
Oh, nice.
Hrama.
Sem govoril.
Zdaj pa na hide.
Naj ga launch.
Kadi važijo, veš.
Aha, chilijo.
Ja. 100.
30. What? V mojem boxu, ne, 100 sem ga. Zakaj se ta nova? Sam mal.
Ali se stop?
Pazi, ta zelen ni tako slab.
Ali umrl je Bina.
Ne, jaz bi raba finish.
Boxan, zaletu volde.
Haz ga.
Take the dance.
Nice.
Ne vem. Ko je cringe tisti kadenca, pač majke me. Eto.
Kako je kaj bilo, ne? Ajde, po ni. Ne straj.
Tijan, povej, kaj sem mu zelo naredila. Zdaj Tijan še govarno.
In kje sem ti
Se
jaz?
bomo šli areno.
Jaz sem
Sleepy,
prej pa
povej, da
bom
smo
igral
rekli, da
klasiko.
bomo šli areno z nami.
Mare.
No, vidiš. Sem govor.
En je šel v riv za supporte crater koda.
Flashe. Flashe.
Tutica.
Ne fajtat haja, ne fajtat haja. Al?
33.
Boxan? Conan?
Pazi, un Anonymous je sam tam.
189, dead?
Če ta Anonymous je šel kar sam pušat, no. Vse.
Ej, kaj
Nice
ti si že
one.
umrl? Kaj še od naših teammateov že dead?
Ja, en je lih umrl.
Conan? Tijan, bigam. Ti čilaš?
Maj.
Pazi, te bo prišel. Boxan?
124.
O. Vej,
Daj, sem ga zdaj.
Ja, 124 sem
A
enega.
je 200.
Aura sem 124.
Ekam.
Krekam bine.
Na mojem, v mojem...
Krekan aura, nice.
Zandija.
190. Dead. Pa kaj dancaš, no? Če ti on dance, ne pomeni, da moš ti dancaš.
Ja, najbolj to.
Ta je najslabši od njih.
Ja, najbolj.
Pony je najslabši.
Kaj se taj laže?
Ja. I vede da rati to.
A what the fuck je bilo to?
Jaz
Vidim pa Conan.
Jaz sem prav jola, sem šel na vine tam nazaj.
Je naredil
GG.
Mislim,
Jaz sem ga več naredil.
ja. Pač zdaj
Veš, kaj
se
se
mi je
s Tijanom
dosti
delava? Jaz ko pridem ga Conan boxtava, ga pošitneva, pač leži.
Ja, sem pasta, kaj še drugi pridejo. Če dobim spet zdaj. Let's go.
Spavna si za SMG medvi. Ne spavna si z njimi, če nimaš SMG-ja.
Ja.
Okej, a ja to vzadem.
Krekan aura.
50. In zdaj za mano. Koliko me je hard zadev?
Dobro, da ima Pony tako dober aim.
Phone?
Ja,
Na meni so trije.
Drog se, ti si ta aura. 130 sem dynamota.
Zanzija.
Splash.
Ja, interes... ja.
O, thanks, Gregor.
Kraken bine.
On, jaz sem zadev 100. O, on mene.
Ja, imeti... Daj, pač, del si špedijo, majke mi. Narediš zero damage-a.
A, jaz sem dat.
Zero damage-a.
Gracias, fantje.
Poni sem na dan sa drugi čim.
Pač, če on začne, pač, majke mi.
Gle,
Ma vem.
Ja, moraš ignorirati. To je lih najbolj. A,
In on je prenaseljivo.
že. A on je livo.
Fucking 3-2.
In on je livo pri nas.
Ja. Jaz se Dejva invitam.
Kam še oni?
Zgoj so...
On Anonymous je šel. Pa ne vem, koliko je on Anonymous.
Respawnajte se, no.
Zakaj mi nismo zmagali?
Ja, respawn. Še ste zmagali.
Unga na lowgroundu morate najbrž
Ne moramo se respawnati, ubijte se saj.
ubij se.
Ja, ne bojo se ubili.
A naredimo nove time?
Ja, da ubijte se.
Veste.
So prav fair, so prav fair, pač.
Ne, drugače
Ne,
ne.
ne. Ima to trije
Daj,
najbolj.
pač.
Pa ne, ubijte se.
Pač, lahko.
Ubijte se.
Respawnite se samo.
Pa daj ubijte se. Pa ste toliko
Moraš biti
neumna
cringe.
oba.
Moraš biti nesposoben.
Pa se en lohenda, no, unka ima za endat.
Ne bo. Daj, bom jaz rajše.
Kdo je en
Oh
lo?
my god,
Kdo je
even
na
hot
za endat?
vibe, stari moj.
Daj, si je fair. Daj, zanzi vremo.
Reno.
Kaj je?
Benga, hoj
Nina ni
vibe.
dober. Ni, neki čudno me
Zanzi. Gremo prvo tim, daj. To sem pričal.
Ej!
Ja, sem.
Kak je tim je zdaj?
Takoj. Sem se razdal.
Do.
Kak je tim je?
Ne, zanzi.
Kaj mi trije? Ne, pa moraš še en z nami.
Ja, daj. Ja, ne, zadost, in oni štirje.
Ja, pa ne gre se
Ja,
ta
najboljš.
tinksi.
Ali pa še ne ta.
Ne.
Pa še ta.
Ja,
Še ta ne gre na mesto
Tinksi.
Daj.
Tik si pet k nam.
Gdje je ta tipa? Pač...
Ja, ti pejt v prvo, Ja.
Ja, beš...
Vi pa pejte v drugi tim.
Drugo.
Vidva pa Bine. A, sam, na v zadnji tim
Prite
pejt.
sem.
Drugs pa drugs ista.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Dej no. Pa dej no.
Pa če se tu
Dej.
pomutavi, ljudi. Ki naredi svet v 2021.
Gre ta lozi noter. No, sej, bom pa
Daj,
spemil.
grem jaz z Bineto. Začina je itek.
Ok, starti game. Kam bo njih zdaj vrgal?
Samo.
Vrn. Oni bojo spektateli.
Samo jaz moram nekaj naštimat.
Pizda, da si tako prezadjet, da niti tim ne znaš še.
Samo. Ja, fakasto.
In pa Luni reče, da sem jaz najslabši od teh, ne, najboljše. Ja, dej, spemi, no. Naprej se bo, dej.
Trset?
Krekan.
Vam pampu me je.
Odskaj me ne delajo gumbi.
Imagine.
Pusta game.
Sleepy.
Pa kaj z vama, zdaj boste pa govorila.
Grem sestro zadal. Greš areno?
Ja, sam gremo malo tega.
Ti... Daj join isto.
A vi greste areno, Bina?
Join se.
U what? Sorry. Shit.
Sam to. Kaj vidi?
Kamo pol mi šli?
Ja, međem da te poslušaj Zanze. Daj, kad sam brez
Ja,
neca.
ubi ga Zanzi.
Oh my god.
Jaz si moram ime spremeniti, pa mi ne delajo kar ene tipke, no. Somehow. To je to.
Zdaj,
cringe.
seljivo ti.
A jes?
Gremo pol nek.
Daj, zdaj moram spet endati. Ja, daj, lahko bi šli unha. Oni itek je hluh, tako da lahko bi šli trio. Delijo te, daj.
Somehow.
Daj, naj fucking Tyson, sem ga grem da real pizda. So
Ja,
ne,
samo
ne,
se ne
ne,
vrnem,
ne, kar navijam za Tysona, kar navijam za Fena.
Ej, daj, Zanze,
Samo.
daj me
kaj?
samo za parte liderja, če boš.
Ja, somehow.
Ej, to je čudno.
Nekaj moram
17 pa 50 na Grand Royal.
Daj, se to. Daj, Zanze, daj.
Ne, tam za party leader in se kaj. Pa ne Things je kikat, no.
Ja, ma dobro, a kivama pa.
Ja, ne
Se
vem.
govori ne prav nič.
Da bi odkljeno areno, ni?
Ja, s čem, če smo v štirih, pamet.
Au. To si zelo vse.
Zdaj je zašla arena.
Kaj je njegov gledalec, stari moj.
Kaj?
Sploh te ne gleda.
Kdo?
Somehow.
Ja, za njega ne gledam. Ej, ko zdaj mu lava piša.
Wow.
Cel čas ga gledam. Lahko imaš nastavljeno na...
Stream sniper.
Sploh ni nič napisal.
Ja. GG, ne.
Ja, zdaj je. Zdaj je še
Zdaj lahko
nekaj
šli kasno arena,
Zdaj je
no.
kazalo, da je manjka gledalca. Nekaj me zelo berem nekaj.
Dobro, da.
A, okej. A gremo mi trio arena.
Pa ledge.
Njem, karkoli. Kaj bi ti šel Thingsy? Late game, okej.
To gledam je tako čisto zmija, no ne let tudi razumem. Kako me čez briga za napadno areno?
Somehow.
Moj brat
Ja.
je šel igrati pri padu do 500 pointov. Bil sem, ne vem, moj trio je quitko. Zgorel sem se že spet.
Rip.
Zato sem začel igrati s temi leti.
Da je redi, no.
Somehow nekišni, evo spremenil sem si ime od Zanzi Carries.
Najboljš.
Alo, Zanzi.
Daj, ki ti dam zdaj? Zanzi, daj povej en nickname za tebe.
Tvoj YouTube
Zanzi.
pa si ga ti kopiraj, pa si ga daj na Google, pa klikni, pa da...
Okej, ja ti kar pošelj. Chat.
Zanzi, povej en nickname, ki ti ga dam.
Daj mi to tega moda za eno sekundo, da ti postem, da bo lahko kliknil.
Dober. Kaj, drugače ne moreš linkov poslati.
Ja, lahko.
Samo modi lahko.
Ne, se lahko vsa.
Ne moreš. Samo moderator lahko.
Ajde. Pošelj.
Zanzi, povej en nickname, ki ti ga dam, daj. Povej kar nickname ti dam.
Ne vem, meni vse.
Eto, zdaj pa ti postam, pa sem ga bolj vzeti.
Zanzi bod, čakaj,
Okay,
Zanzi
nice.
bod. Zanzi, ne, Zanzi. Ne, si the streamer.
Yo, Sweetex, yo. A si Thingsy. A si že poslal.
Da.
Gdje Thingsy pošelj, no.
Dobra, ma. Zanzi od noč.
Kaj si že postal?
Meni se zdi, da določen ljud dobiš, kdaj si hočeš.
Okej, Zanzi za tabo, Zanzi.
A, jedan še sem tle. Ej, sej še nisi poslal Thingsy, what?
Ala tle.
Ja, mene kaže. Dej na Discord mi pošelj.
Daj tle se, Zanzi, tle se.
Pa mal se te slabo sliš, vede. things.
Sam mi dajte, chill zdaj.
Ja,
Gdje se treka zvoj? Lokal, je.
nice. 60.
Trekan. Pa, kje si? Oh my god.
Pare, ne.
Jo, what the fuck, kako je tle folk, jaz pa ne vem, kje sem. Ja, tvoj gledalec je. Kaj si mu dal moda, da bi link poslal, sam mi ne kaže. Daj me na Discordu Thingsy. Zanzi pač tako prav tako, ko imam ime, pol pa hashtag 1830. Pa Y je z velika, ne pa. Ja. Pa hashtag 1830. Zdaj se ubijem. Ja.
Ne boš za spezen, kjem da.
What je bil ta bloom? Sej za to. Kaj ne slišim te? Tebe se slabo sliši zdaj. Ne, še vedno. Ponje, ti slišiš Thingsy na glas.
Slabo.
Ja, sej ta fora. Si meni tudi malo odmeva prek Forta, če...
Ne, stati ne. Ali pa je lih malo.
Ja, sej prek Discorda pa.
Raši, žan.
Kako sem ga falil? What? Ne, če ga ne bi falil. Just kanaj, lahko pridem. Imagine, da imaš tako ime, jaz se to loga. Just kanaj, laza. Zdaj igramo lih 3 late game, lahko malo kasneje, če bomo šli creative. Ne, gremo zdaj.
Pa se rasta ona 2 leti.
Tako greš Borislava.
Se rasta.
Ne, to mi je tam pisal. Kanaj,
Ma.
En kaj že takrat, ko sem igral z viewerji. Kako ima že ti ime? Si ti ko imaš vprašaj, če ga drugače.
Me metam da boš unhajm vajta.
Cijenom zdaj. Pol... čakaj. Evo, sem. Evo, sem se joinal. Pošalj mi na Discord. Ok.
Pol zdaj kar je shit. In ima noter lih koliko? 5 ljudi, 6.
Ale Žanko Bananka, točno, to si ti, ja.
Koliko? 7 in 9?
Boš šla polikrat, okej. Okej. Ja, 97 ljudi, ja. Ker to vsem na DM pošilja, to smo mi delali. Iz korpovega serverja smo vsem na DM.
Tle je, gremo ta.
Ja.
Ne mečem da sem dobil spez. Ne mečem da znam zja ni. Na meni?
Samo.
Jaz sem dead, pač ki delali ste vi, no.
What? Jaz se ne morem premikati, dead? Ja, sem jih. Ja, ti ga razi, prijem.
Jaz sem mu, Zanzi. Če jaz sem mu kar z Epic Pumpa naredil 30 damage.
Daj te pokličem prek Discorda, se te tam bolj sliši.
A me sta bigja? Ti, bigja.
Jaz sem splashe, ja, full bolj si ti sliši.
Ja, okej.
Full.
Nekaj se mi je čisto cel set mi pokvarili na portal.
Ja, ampak zdaj se te full na glas sliši, evo. Zdaj reč kaj. Ne, sem te dal bolj potiho, dobro, ja.
Halo, daj mi se podelil...
White? En je white. Dead? Še en, 189 sem ga. Ker stil. A veš.
Pazi, še eden.
Taiwan, by the way, ten superhero. Kako je meni zadel 2 staj?
Presežem 20 lajpa, ja.
Ja, in ta superhero je bil že prefollow.
Superhero, zdaj se jaz sem ga zadel za 100 pa 3-krat z jarom.
Aha.
Zanzi, da daj mi še ti to grupo, da še jaz ti slišam, ker že
Ja.
je bolj bila.
Ti igraš...
Moram te pa mutati.
O, mater, zdaj ga moram dati pa bolj potiho.
Poni, ja te mutam. Daj si pustiš to tok, jaz ne si da te pušti tok.
Ja, evo, sem se da.
Alo, Zanzi, a ti pač imaš RP, pač Fagan,
Ne, nimam, ne igram to.
imaš GTA 7 navaden.
Ja, to imam.
Ja, no, Fagan si lahko zraven teden zato naložiš, pa lahko igraš server, jaz sem tukaj owner serverov.
A, nice. A ti igraš RP-ja?
Ono, ko je včasih igral, ko igra recimo Stot City, Pero Martič ali pa ono Vortex, ko so včasih...
To City je meni shit,
Tudi, ampak zdaj moj server upam, da ne bi propad, ne?
Boljši je uni.
Ja, upit da ne propade.
Ampak okej, boljš, zdaj postal ful popularen Prime RP. Ful je postal popularen.
Ne vem,
Ne poznam se vse te
zmeram-
serije.
jaz vem še zmeren, da je una. Da še zmeri ful igra uni slorpi.
Imagine, da me ne zadane ta tip s harpunom. Če da...
Kam remate, označ zdaj Zanzi. Zdaj bolj resno igramo, ne tako kot prej. Kaj Zanzi ti kar premikat se ne znaš.
Da pa YouTuber, ne?
Pa zdaj se premiki Zanzi, če se
Ja.
da, ne?
Ej,
Yes, končil neki pametni lult. Blue Pampa.
Devito.
jaz sem tle od spodaj. Ej,
Jaz sem
jaz sem
tle
pol ob 6 gledal FNCS, ta Grand Ral, pa še stream zraven.
2x30 obajti so.
What the heck, to šteka se tu.
Zanzi, lahko te obajti pušamo, please. Te obajti gremo pušat, no, please. Ok, jaz sem on HP.
Jaz zdaj tukaj...
Ajde, te obajti pušajo mi da.
Daj puši.
Ful so slabi, ker nekam white, 35 white in to dvakrat.
Ja.
Dvakrat sem ga 25 white. Default en. No, jaz je enkrat default, ja, nice.
A še jedan, ne?
Ne, to je tako
Ej, a
umrl.
veš če je teammate, Evo, tako je umrl.
Ja,
Ja, tako mora.
Tle je jedan, kad tle je reloadu jedan nara.
Alo, mene su iz maina, veš kak lezerale.
res.
Ninkan.
Vi ne pojdite zamutiti ih, ker su tak lezerali s lovnjukom.
Na men, what? Pa veš koliko jih je na men,
Ja,
what?
ja, mušla pa.
Nice. Nice, lost je bil. Daj finiši, rabiš hile.
Jep.
Alo, 10 lajpa nekako, nekaj takega.
Ok, Pepe zdaj na unga.
Tu stoji serije, ko imam zlat pampu.
Lahko jumpaš not pa pobereš hile. Kom bi postavil?
Ba.
Ok, da.
Gleda.
Nice, stil. Samo.
Madena. Ributa bom pobral in šel ributat.
Ja, ne, moraš budat, če je že sam.
Ja, ničem.
Alo, tukaj je en player.
Ja, vidim.
Od spodi, no, zvori.
Ponje si pa lunga ubil ali zbežal.
Tukaj da se postersi.
Nice.
Jaz sem moral dati bolj vse na sve.
Rip.
Isto je meni zgodilo, isto se meni.
Ne.
Z Logarjem smo zmagali s 15 killi. Imagine.
Ej, niso.
Logar, kar je.
Mi je zbeže. Ti pa me je spizdil z pedom.
Si Logar je dober.
Međem da rečeš da je lohar dobar. Ne znam. Izgi kaže
Saj
da
dobro,
sta v
res.
petih v lobiju. Pa?
Boris,
Ne, ne.
a ste vi, a vas je 5 v lobiju?
Znam se spomniš od Kepeca, da oni Vega tim, ne?
Ja,
No, veš kaj on delal? To, kaj si ti prej rekel. On je šel v en popularen tim slovenski,
Ja,
vsakega
ja.
membera, šel DM, ko ga so dodali, da ni imel pa vse postal link.
ja, sej, to meni je rekel. Ta solo, ko je bil zdaj. Prej, ko smo imela še Silver iz Sports, pa Atomic tima, veš, kaj je bilo.
Ja,
To je pa v Vega, je pa pošilo
sem.
sem.
Vega iz sporta.
Pa je bilo tako 110 memberjev.
Znam se, ti si že zmeral nam Vega iz sporta.
Ja.
Ampak je pa kar dolgo trajalo, da so bili tudi memberov. Veš, koliko ljudi hodijo v servere, če RP?
Aha,
Ker RP je
Ja,
zdaj rekel
prav vsi hodajo tiste serverje.
ja, sej.
RP recimo, ja.
Čeprav mene je nič skozi pošiljali na DM, ko jih prvič vidim, RP serverje, no. Pa rečem ne.
Mene en prijatelj pošiljal ta SLO Future. Pač jaz itak ne bom hodil, pač zdaj nimam RP-ja in niti
Jaz
GTA-ja. Ja, ma vem, ma niti GTA-ja nimam,
A ja.
tako da je brezvezen. Kam gremo?
Jaz sem GTA, ko je bil takrat zaston na Epiku.
Zato je bil.
Ja, Premium Edition je bil zaston.
Alo, brat, mikrofajtamo tle nekam.
Premium Edition, čeprav si dobil še online zraven, pa 1 milijon denarja. Online.
Pridol, Lucifer.
Lokal.
On je
na meni.
Tinksy.
A ja,
A zdaj so
na meni, a lahko,
Ja, ja. Ja, na meni je tudi, what?
White, dead.
What?
Ti si praven, Zanzi, jaz pa ne vem, ki delam.
What?
Jaz gre z Anzijo prinesti pepera.
Krita me, jaz sem van. Kaj dober. Kaj je bilo to, what?
Teren. Pridi pune.
Pa je ven.
Ah.
A ja, še pon.
Pa,
Gremo kijat.
kam gremo? O,
Puta, z mano.
To je lud. kam gremo? A,
Sto.
dobro.
One tepe. Vito.
One HP, 60 white.
White.
Lokal.
Nice.
Nice.
Šekam. Holdi. Nismo si kaj.
Itak še vedno lahko šekaš, to je dobro, da so fikse, veš. Ja, kar dropi nazaj.
What? Ja?
Hold on.
Nice, krakan. White je. Ej, to je dober, nice, to je dober, da so fiksel, da tudi čelive lahko še jedna šejka.
Ja, se to.
Včasih več nisi mogel.
A ja, dobro.
Ja, vem.
Mi smo middle zona. 28, 2x28, gremo po šutone.
Ja, lahko launcham.
Jaz sem s peparjem, vi pedite.
Ne, ne rad.
Alo, samo 7 proti lendate, eno dobro, tako bom rekel.
Zakaj si ti lendo? Mi to te...
1 HP, 1 HP.
Ok, sam pridanajo.
30.
Nice.
120? 120, ne vem, dead. A krakan,
1 HP.
to je livo. Nice.
Ja, imečem, da kar vse skille dobim stila na brat. Kar naši naredim jaz. A mi ste minija?
Jaz sem tudi stil.
Jaz sem na to tega, what the heck, dejte malo bush campov. Kjer kid.
Jaz ubigam še.
Jaz sem?
Imečem, da jaz kar nač nima.
Lokal.
Samo
Nice.
moramo bežiti. A jaz sem se kar zgubil, tek bi.
Jaz sem launchal k njemu. Launchal k njemu.
O ne, ne.
Expandi. Krakan,
Nice.
ta na men, ja, to je krakan. Dead.
Šeki.
Odzadi, 60, ne, ubil me je. Rez.
A ti ti da?
Iz metala sem zabil.
Alo, dej,
Ten tim.
odbi zdaj to, da ne znam zvezdi.
Še ti držim. Tu je solo, tle je solo.
Magro manj za lončko naprej. Ajoj! Mapa da? Ali da gleda to?
Na meni C3-jo.
Ajoj, jaz mislim, da se oba dva štrno.
Pazi, pazi.
Hek,
50.
krekal.
Pazi, pazi.
To za teammateov do nekaj, ki smo ga bili.
Rekan. Dead.
Oba dva?
Ja, gremo pušati tu nekaj se rebutali.
Lančam.
Okej, nice.
Ja, v redu, imejte aimboca, to še rečem.
50 za vami, 50 za vami. Oh my god.
Krekal.
Jaz pa ne vem, ki dela. Te kar si na meni. Okej, pedali so, nice. Jaz sem pedal. Imamo hajt, imamo hajt.
Sad tak da one shot. Stop! One shot sta oba dva. Alo, enega sem 150. En je 150.
Pa ne morem, pač. Koliko kilo smo imeli?
Jaz sem bil 10, pa dolgo 11.
Sam.
Zakaj?
Pač, a pol si imel unis, spremenjen skin, ali kaj?
Ne.
Ja,
Ja,
pa ni. Si imel.
10 bil.
Jaz sem... Ja, dobro, jaz sem imel 3 stilene, tako da jaz imam samo en, pač, majke me. Jaz kar dobim vse stilene. Zdaj Zanzi, ti bi govoril kje, ali? Jaz kje Zanzi, jaz ne slišam.
A ja, jaz sem
ja.
bil mutant, stari. Ej, pogledal sem 13 kilo smo imeli, Tink si imel 8, jaz 4 po njega.
Wow, jaz sem dobil 3 stilene.
Ja, hej.
In tako, vse sem dal na one HP.
A ja, meni da takrat si ti ga stilo, ko sem ko sem spel z Jarom v boksnu.
A veš kjer sem jaz? Veš kjer sem dobil stilen, han?
Veš njega 189. Pa en
Jaz sem unha dobil stilen, Zanzi ti veš, veš ti tako sem jaz pobimal, kaj je šel, kaj ta Tinksi, kar shoulder ham landed.
Ja,
Gledam, no unha sem jaz tako, 1 HP sem ga dal. Tistega sem jaz dal na 1 HP. In še en ha
pa sem ga jaz ubil, a ne? Ali pa Tinks.
Leto, kar meki so tele, upam, da ne bo nikoli uplezan, tako eni bojo šli kar po meka, že vidim.
Vse to.
Kam gremo? Sem.
Gledaj se epic palpa.
Ja, jaz imam lever, no.
Lever je to cheap shit.
Ja, vse to.
Ja, vem.
Majke mi. Enega sem 50 z leverjem. Na meni
Kako meni lega? Prhajam.
Ne,
Ne,
meni
what?
je tilo fox pravo.
175 dead.
A ja, ti si ti Zanzi?
Tle,
A ja, ti si tle.
tep sem.
Jaz sem šel kar k enemu drugemu timu.
A, what?
Pa?
Vse malo sem.
Na meni spezam, ti pa
Ja.
spezam pa še. Pazi, ga spem.
Pej nazaj,
moram
pet
bigati.
sem peham. Na men,
Tim na meni Zanzi.
na men. 30.
Ja, ne moreš, če so kar 2 tima tele.
Ja. What? Ja, okej,
Vedem, da so 16 timov tele.
vse to.
Unbelievable.
Samo,
Ready, Zanzi, ready.
samo. To ne mogu, what? O moj bog.
I'm back.
Okej. Mhm. Samo... O moj bog. Ja.
Kaj delaš?
Moram pisat, pa mi kar ne gre.
Hajam, tako je nekaj. Na, tam.
O moj bog,
I guess.
zdaj sem v stormu bil tog časa. Landam na vaju.
Tle. Aj. Tle je tolika tima.
Koliko je timov tle? Od tega je pa. Nice. Pickaxe.
Kako je bil buljan?
Saj to.
Pazi, to ni nič naša.
Ja, pet
A rem
tak.
še temu v box, tem.
Ja.
O, meni tu poli.
Od zgori. What, jaz imam 2 shotguna.
Meni ni hotela spremeniti na shotgun.
Jaz imam pa 2 shotguna. O moj bog.
Jaz si nijem.
Meni na shotgun ni hotela spremeniti. Ej, Zanze, jaz sem isto šel s temu s harpuno box, ne? V ta prvo folo. In pol jaz klikam za shotgun, ne? In meni kar na shotgun ni hotela spremeniti. Pač kje je to? Ej, kako sem ta siren bulijo, pač, majke.
Sam malo. What? No. Samo 30 sekund.
Ja.
Če se naredim to... O moj bog. Ne, pač. Jaz sem znoro, ej.
Nisem, so vemo.
Kar ni dobro dizajn.
Okej, what?
Kje je shop za danes? Ših.
Evo, ležal. Evo. Dobro, 12 lajkov imam. Insane.
A jeste tle v čempu v tem late gameu?
Nope.
Ne, manjkno.
Koliko pik imaš Zanze?
Kaj?
Zanzi, koliko pik imaš ti? Koliko pik imaš?
Koliko pik?
Ja.
A tle?
Kaj, če nekaj, ja.
Ja.
Jaz sem 7. division pil.
Samo,
Mislim
samo.
6.
7300 pikov.
In koliko je tle čemp? 8?
Ne, 7500 mislim, da je.
Mm.
Ali 8, ne, 10 000 je. Ja,
Evo.
Kaj, sem, gremo sem.
sedaj ste na pol pipnu tega,
Okej.
je bilo tudi vred.
Tle je nekaj 10.000 čempa, ni tako.
Ne, 10 000, čem sem se potem bral.
Ja, ja.
Ja, majke mi da je tle
Sem
še
slišal.
strašno tledi, jo, na meni.
Jaz...
Prihajam na
jaz sem
tebe,
razumel,
pon.
da-
V tvojem boksu sem. White. Kako ni bil dead?
Ti pravi rezi.
Ja, jaz goldot, je goldot.
Ja, ne.
Dead.
Goldot.
Edit, a pa
Ej,
ne.
rezi.
A ti ga puši. Povej mi, če bo pršču poni, okej? Povej mi, če bo kar.
To ni
Sam
one.
drži. Sam drži.
Sam drž.
Boksu.
What? Ja, mislim, da.
Ja, mene je... Pazi. Nice.
Nice! God. Let's go. Kjer God klače.
Charge fuck insane. Goldot.
Ja, Zanzi, ker se ne premikam.
Ja, ne znam se premikati. Glen flopper. Opam.
Pepper imamo.
Nice.
En pepper za tako, jaz vsak en pepper imam koliko.
Okej.
Jaz grem...
Da, obak je sve.
Light imamo tukaj. Jaz zdaj pogledati, imamo zapljeve. Imamo high tukaj.
Kje lounge? A, grem.
So prijite do mene.
Grem na tebe. En je čist na hajtu, jaz sem na njega landal.
Oj,
Zgleda kada je low.
pazi.
O, en ima moj favorite skin. Lol. Iz chapter 1 season 7 battle pass. Ja, tudi jaz.
Ampak nisem še nobil.
A?
Logo.
Jaz sem se zlobil, če so.
Sto 13? Dead?
Na meni? Rekam,
Ja.
Mike.
To je bil ta moj najljubši skin, ko si ga lih čarčama bil.
Pazi.
Zadaj.
Ti si ga dol
Dole.
drugo.
Na men! 100, one pump.
Ma.
Samo.
O, ne.
Chill.
Na mene? Rekam.
Ej, en bo enega rezal, ko je padel dol. Reza ga.
Ti.
100? Na men. Ti dead oba.
Nice.
Pa oba dva epic spas.
Sjede da ga tle reza. Kar skarpa,
Ampak
pepper.
niso to že ukili, da si imel kaj že oni skill. Ali še
O,
fito.
mene je jedan dinčo.
Ne vem, če se ukinu. Maj to skozi. Pa tudi v kapu je bilo, veš, v late game kot kap.
Ej, cel trio tam od zadaj. Da, gremo.
Kaj? A na te gremo?
Pazi, sem.
Čakaj, Travis Scotta lahko pobimam. Ar.
Če sem doj.
Daj si pleni.
Ne.
Meni kar zadničalo, tako ne vem kako.
Tega ta Travis Scott je dober, reč. Pazi. Moramo malo usiti naenkrat ovaks.
What? Nekaj sem dobil od enega mok. Trekal.
Nice.
Nice.
Treba iskati da reči nekaj dober.
Od
Ni bil
nekog
sklad.
Zdaj, plava folk 35. Te so slabi, no te.
To je bilo kao pušalica,
nisem
da
več-
bi imeli kakšen pet.
Jaz in te pušate.
Nema. Daj, jaz imam prevzel fol. Daj,
Okej.
držim.
Pazi.
O,
Tle, od spodje plava 100.
ja kar zdaj zakrenka se. No, o, jaz sem 1 HP. White kill ima.
Jaz enega še eno pušam. Jaz sem healo.
Jaz se moram kam eden spema. Imate white killa?
Imam surfish.
Precision, any one shot and je no-card.
Kraken, dead.
Dobiš jo,
Ja.
Ne, več.
Kak.
Alo, tukaj pred mojim rebootom reviva enega.
A ja. Jaz sem pa hotel iti tja, a pa temi stopnicami. What? Jaz sem one.
To ti ga že revival, en še one shot puri.
A imaš kak big shield po njej?
Pust me, ne.
Okej.
Nisem nič zdaj sploh.
Niso iz drugih strani pospavali.
Dan se sprim do tebe.
Jaz sem max mece.
A ja, tle sploh ni zone. Zate ta bo znati.
Ja, vem.
Kraken white.
Nice.
O, jaz sem dead od storma. I guess.
Jaz sem sam minje za shield heal.
Jaz white killa sploh nimam.
Da ti dam flopper.
Blue hillu, no nimam blue.
Tu bi tu, ej. Tu bi tu, ja.
Jaz sem malo v stormu kempu.
12. 18. Ne, čez gre za, oni se pa nahajajo, rip.
Jaz sem dead od storma. Se ne morem.
12. Enega sem knockal, Konu, let's go!
Nice.
Shit on. Ko sem ja Konu.
Nice.
Let's go.
Nice. Taki, da poletem 5, 8, 14 kilo.
Let's go.
Ne, 15.
Koliko sem imel jaz
15
kilo?
Ti si jih imel 7, on jih je imel 5, jaz sem imel 3.
Okay. Let's go.
Nice. Jaz sem mislil, da bom že drugi.
Pa jaz sem tako by the way šel ob 6, kam pol gledati ta Grand Royal. Veš, malo pričestvom streamu še zraven. To so free view, ja, veš, kaj se še streama zraven. To na Twitchu ne bojo streamala.
Ja, to sem nastavil še streamam še. Ajde. 2 kila, ne, 14 kilo smo imeli. Ne, 15 kilo. 15 kilo vid. O, kako je da ti veslav? Kam?
What the fuck?
Ja, to hoš. Ja, da be... Treba nekaj, tako je. Ja, ma tam itak bo, tle bo itak folk izika. A ja, ne, se to ja. Niti ne.
Ja, lahko ga najd, ja.
To na ta hrib.
A, gor. Okej. Prišel sem celo gor. Pri tebi sem.
Ja, ovo je poleg mene pa ima Travis Scott neki epic pump.
Travis Scott, ko so, a veš, njegov
Na meni,
ples,
na
ko
meni,
so
na meni.
banali.
Pade.
Iz Fortnite'a.
Kjer je
Shake it
njegov
out
ples,
west. Shake it out west. Pomecaj,
Ah.
shake it out west. Kar charge. A ti se kot s chargeama.
30, klekan. Da dole je kreka.
Treba naslednja sezona ukiniti tarčke, preveč pa ukiniti.
Aha.
Ja, vse bo še.
40.
Je odvisno. Če ima dober player spes, te v easy outplay v bistvu.
Ja, pri meni ima dober player spas.
Čekaj.
Nice, dead.
Alo,
162, 162. A, nice, nice.
A meni je od spode.
alo, tukaj sem od zgori.
Je tle od zgorja.
Biš.
Da ja. Čakaj pa medi to.
Meni
Tle ga daj.
Ali meni kaže, da me pod mapo vrgo. Ha, okej, zdaj mi naj.
Spreja.
Sam držim.
Ja,
Imam 2 fuka.
ali dober. Dobil sem kill od enega. Jaz skačem in. Pazi, daj me back. Kako?
A jaz sem že noter.
Meni na nekaj časa...
Okej, gremo in.
Kreka, one shot.
Dead. Nice.
Na meni je 1 HP. Na meni.
Ja, okej. Prehajam. Pa ne morem dol, to ni nič naše. Če to ni nič naše, no nisem mogel dol. 70 white. Siren skin.
Ne, mo.
Kar finish od tega, ja.
Malo se že ogrejem. Malo se že ogrejem. Ja.
Ej, rebootat lahko reš.
Ja. A imaš peti?
Ja, je tle gor na njemu. Samo vzem mi kakšen shotgun zam začetaš. A ja, ne upaš.
Kje pet? Rekel si da je na njemu. Ja.
Tle gor na njemu.
Nice. A imaš pol še pet, da pedamo na loot nazaj? Okej.
Samo imaš kje, to je zona zdaj.
Aha, tu je 5 že.
Vse pet.
Tam.
Po 5, okej.
Nice. Aj ga boš ti, okej.
Pa ne. Shit.
Ni šans da ti rata. A ti rata?
Pa sam floperi. A ima flopere? A imaš flopere?
Ne, nima.
Ja. Dej, lenti na njega. Ja, lej, je lih tam kaj en team, no ja. Rip.
Zanci. Jaz moram imeti polud, gremo hod polud.
A, okej. A, rip. Če imel flopper, je si.
Nisem to.
Ja, sej. Rip.
Ni me finišal, lahko lendo to vame. Ja, ni me finišal.
Pa te ni un za buildo. Smisel da te v finišu. Jaz landam na tebe.
Ja, jaz nimam metko, zanci, daj mi malo metko.
Pa tam je loot. Tam not. Ti jim dal pa met.
Za drevesne, ne? Hitro.
Ja, daj, landi ti, bom jaz na njega landat, ti rajci.
Pred sam.
Tako je boksti.
Ajde, edi ti mi je noob. Ta je za nič, by the way. 105.
Ej, pol mi daj malo metko, plis, če imaš ti.
Tle so, ker imam mag že. Pa medkit je tle. Tam je tudi medkit.
Jaz sem 100 shielda razen.
Oša skar je tle.
Jaz slavčam.
Ok, pedja. Gremo na ta hide. Oh my god.
Jaz holdam tle folk, en se tle snika.
Zdravo, dead.
Nice.
Finišam.
Ta je low, to je 1 HP, ta je low.
Think se si ti kontroler, a? Ko sem pozabil. Nisi, a ne?
O, jaz sem bil biman.
On je.
Ej, en solo je na hajtu. Malo tam zbildo na hajtu. God je. Ampak je one. En je na men, kaj je god. Ampak je one.
Na meni jedan. Na meni!
Ja, na meni tudi.
Ja, oni samo spema hore, namesto da bi bil por meni, ne? Ej, ni me finišu!
Ja, mene so porušili, ja, dobro.
Jaz sem tebe nekal.
A ja, moj bog.
Kaj delaš to?
Ti si me porušil ti.
Oh my god.
Ne, pa zato sem jaz tebe nekal.
Ajde, imaš to, iskaš se. Ja, proti 3, to si GG. Če bi bil duo, bi šel hubil.
Ma se niso
Sem i
tako
trije.
dobra sploh.
A ja, si na hajto. Si na
Ja,
hajto.
maj tako samo spremljajo.
Nice. A ja, ne, proti 2, ajde, to zmagaš. To zmagaš na 2. Ne, GG.
Jaz sem
Nice,
mora
raj.
zelo majcen bil. Točno 7500 sem zdaj.
Pa ti zanzi, če samo spremljajo.
Ja, sej to.
Koliko kilo sem jaz napil?
5.
A, okej. In zdaj sem v endgameu tak šital. 3-4 sem jih zraku bil.
Ej, še to igra, pa bom pa šel, okej?
Ja, jaz isto.
Kam greš?
Jaz šel bom... Gledaj, ta FNCS Grand Rally, sem prej rekel, pa bom streamu še. Če sem rekel. Čekaj, da se
Koliko
login.
je sploh ura? 6 ura bo. Nice. Zdaj zanzi, još kaj? Škaj vele, ka bo Božič, ne? Naredi stream, podarjam Vibekse.
Najboljš.
In meni podari 13.500 Vibekse. Tako da. Ja, zanzi, ne, naredi, podarjam Vibekse stream, ne? Za Božič.
Ja,
Bo ko Božiček.
ja, se to.
A, res?
Ja, lahko bi res. Kamerama. Guess, gremo guess station.
Jaz
Imam.
ja, zdaj bi na res.
Če je zanzi.
Jaz sem si na drevo šel narediti čat.
Jaz sem tle goraj.
Jaz sem naredil na drevo, da se visel čat.
Ej, nisem lendo, 30, v boksu je. Dead, nice.
O, kolega.
Ja, vem, ja, uva.
What?
Ja, ali
What
zadnji.
je to? Ej, pod nami, zanzi, pricam.
Okej, ja. Tle, na men. 116, boksan, dead.
What?
Ko sem ga ubil, je še kar stal, no, veš, koliko to lega. Pa ta ni imel pojma, kje je.
Portiralo skozi vale.
Ja se sad nimam
Ja, vem,
pojma.
se to kar teleportira. Vse. To. Kar je, jaz imam kar 2 shotguna, what the fuck.
Ja. Trekan.
Pridal. Dead, 180, 72.
Eni zanzi.
Trekan.
Jaz sem escape, ej. Pa oni chile, ki se skillam tudi.
Vidiš me lahko ributa. Ne bi še naprej.
What, prijedite malo.
Da, jaz moram jeti, ajde.
Okej, ajde. GG, ej, jaz sem tudi šel. Tako da, ajde. Ajde, se vidimo. Bom pa še streamal zdaj Grand Trial, ajde. Sem malo folk. Sama bom Twitch klop, pa bomo gledali renderal. Siedem. Zdaj pa gremo sem. Sama folk.
As we prepare for the game.
Ewa.
Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. This is our tournament. We're taking it down. You guys might want to watch out. We're bringing it on this tournament.
Let's go, guys.
I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to compete.
I'm ready to crush the competition.
Yeah, we're really excited to play and see what we're capable of doing.
It's so much fun competing with all like the best of everyone. It shows that I am also the best of everyone.
Just play good. Just get out there and just eliminate everyone.
Ewa.
You feel us because once we get on a roll, we continue going. There's no slowing down pace whenever we're in the driver's seat.
Let's do this, boys. We're gonna bring it home. I'm ready.
We've had our practice. We're warming up. We're ready. So anybody, this event, we're waiting for. To fight us, it'd be a bad idea for them. There's no way we don't win this. There's no one that can beat us. We're ready for this.
I'm really hyped to play the event and I'm ready.
Let's go. Bring it on. I'm ready to win.
It's about to go down.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go, Saf! Let's go, Saf! That's what I'm excited for, baby! Alright, we gotta talk about some of these trails, boys. We got a whole list here for you in case you're like, man, Zeke, who do we follow? I've never seen Fortnite. Which trail should I watch? Don't worry, we got you covered. First off, we gotta talk about Cammy, Seti, and Teak, the trail that just won Chapter 2 Season 8, which was not really that long ago. It was only a few weeks ago, and now they're returning to the Grand Royale. They're saying, alright, boys, we like we just won. We have our Axe of Champions, prize money. I mean, I guess we'll give that a shot, right, Levin? I mean...
Yeah, look, if you're talking about current form, there isn't a trio that is going to get much better than this. They just put on an all-time performance, and I think they're going to look to come out today and do very much the same thing.
Yeah, you can see them land on the east side. We know they're dropped by now. The Cammy split, as it's been known for, I mean, what, season on season on season, because these guys have just dropped here for so long. They've dominated in this kind of previous season that we've seen in the current one of Chapter 2 Season 8. In that first day of the two, they have really popped off and continued that throughout the 2 days. And that's what's going to be really important here again when we have those massive points doubled in day 2.
And the beauty of them as a trio is being able to watch from the start of the year to now. One of the few trios that's actually stuck together all year long, and they're reaping the benefits of that now towards the end.
I think it's like one of like 2 teams or something like that. Not a lot. Yeah, but if we go into like another team we want to look at here, Queasy and Ash Thomas. This season being absolutely hands down one of the best teams. I think they placed, what was it, 8th overall in Season 8. This season's FNCS so far. But while being contested and while fighting off spawn at the same time with Sky Team, now they don't have that blockade because they're not being contested anymore.
Yeah, look, it's like Zeke, right? They're unchanged, right? They are free and free to run wild on the lobby and really get busy. I think the big thing with these guys, I think the big thing with these guys is their ability to go out there and dominate. A team that we know will just dominate games. Janice, Noah, Badil, firepower, right? You talk about firepower, you talk about just the ability to just go out there, get eliminations when you really need to. You know, these guys can do it better than the rest. I've always described O'Reilly and Badil's connection as being like yin and yang, right? They're just always in sync, always in tune, always on the same page. And when you have Janice, who's a multi-FNCS champion, all that experience and the ability, let's give him his flowers, right? He's got, you know, some of the best ability in the game as well. This is a trio that you definitely want to watch out for today.
Oh, hands down. We saw them landing in Believers Beach this moment. The team that we obviously I just talked about there, Quizzy and as HD, their drop spot, still catty corner. They've been able to hold this down throughout the entire season so far. They've been the ones that hold this bottom right. We know the power of this. We know the fact that they always get pepper. Even when you look at the inventory, you just see peppers on peppers on peppers for these guys. And now that they have this all to themselves, such a huge area here, they are going to be strong to look out for over the next 2 days.
Yeah, a big thing with that team that really impressed me was the addition of Queasy into the fold. It just added so much dynamism. It gave them so many more options in terms of different play styles, and they've really been good at that. You know, if we're talking about some of the other sort of top trios now, I think there's no doubt in my mind we're always going to be talking about Craggy Kiss. We're always going to be talking about Tayson, Chapik. Wait, I just want to say something. You know, I know I'm the like resident Tayson fanboy. I'm going to try to keep that on wraps a bit.
Keep it down. Yeah.
You know,
Good luck, man.
I'm gonna try keep that down just that bit because, you know, I get excited when I see his name. Of course, he's playing with Chapik and Hen now. It wasn't the greatest last season. There were a couple errors, right? They didn't seem to be at their top level, but you know they're going to be coming looking for revenge for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like they're comfortable in this drop spot. Obviously, we saw a little change up. We've got Hen now rather than Janice in the team at the same time. Saw a little bit of a switch up here, and they're comfortable in this drop spot. They know. And I'm looking at the surrounding areas, and you know there's a double contestation in Orchard near them. They're pushing that they usually do over to kind of to the west side of the map into the stealthy stronghold. Probably won't be possible because there's no contestation over there. So I want to see what they're doing in their early and mid game. It's going to be really, really important for them.
We got to keep the conversation going, friends. Another thing we just saw, Chapter 2, Season 8, it's Steamy Stacks. Benji Vichy versus Malabuka. I mean, we already saw how this went, but I guess we're going to get a repeat performance there, Levin.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be, you know, round 2 almost for these guys. The battle at Steamy Stacks. Mr. Savage, Benji Fishy, and Dretar, you know, Malabuka, Mustache, and Shizo, 2 trios who very much could go out and win FNCS on any given day. Definitely able to do that. I just think the big problem is that contested, one of these trios just isn't as strong of spawn, and that trio is Mr. Savage's trio, right? Malabuka's team seems to just get the upper hand on them every time when it comes to off-spawn fights that's team.
Yeah, and here we go. Look, this is the kind of layout. This is where the players usually like to kind of grab. You see on that far backside, this is the side you don't want, basically, right? And what becomes really important here is getting the middle control, the kind of line you see down the center here, the electric in the middle buildings here. This is where a lot of the loot ends up holding, in particular after the updates this season at some point. The main building, which is on the far left. So what usually happens between these two teams is that none of them land at the far backside on that far to the right there. They end up just fighting and getting scrappy over the middle, and then it basically a player goes down early. It's about who hits the shots, has the better angles overall. So for them, it's gonna be an interesting one to see how this plays out. We saw, like we said, how it played out last time, and it was very much so in the favor of Malabuka's team.
Yeah. We'll see, man. This Grand Royale, maybe it's a little bit different. Let's keep it going, though. Misty Meadows, Deceptos versus Andalex. Now, of course, I feel like we also have talked about Andalex all year long as well, but talk to me about this trio.
I think the big thing with this trio is just, well, both of these trios, obviously star-studded French trios, they both will probably do really well, even though, you know, they're both sort of in this Misty Meadows area. Both found ways in previous FNCSs this year to sort of coexist in a way and have successful tournament runs.
You saw there that obviously Floki's team was on the far left, and you saw at the same time that Andalex's team was on the far right. That's what they used to do in Season 7 when they were contesting. This season, what they've done is both land on the east side because of that new area, the crash site up to the northeast of the meadows. So they both land in the right square here, kind of splitting it down the center, usually try and fight for that and disengage. And this season, Floki Clement Deceptos really were winning that, right? They placed 4th, whereas Andalex's team ended up placing 12th. So off spawn,
we're used to seeing Anglais' team dominate in previous seasons. Now, with the kind of switch up this season, it seems like both Commander Citos are getting a little bit more ahead of them. So with this rematch, this is now the third time, maybe even more if I can remember back earlier than season 7, that we're going to see this exact same setup. And I want to see how that comes with Skype's team also landing very close to the kind of disco house to the southwest. Will he push in? Will he take the west side? Will Floki's team go to the full west side again? Like, Nisty fights are always really interesting.
And I do just want to quickly give them their flowers. Floki Command, this is just another one of the few teams that has stuck together over the course of the year. And watching their progressions as trio, they've only gotten better.
Przyjemne zajście, samo oczy.
I'm really excited to see how they fare in what is the biggest competition now this year.
I think Dan and Kami Seiti might be the only two teams who've stuck together that are still here throughout the entire year.
Absolutely. Got to be some of the favorites, I would say, coming into the competition, right? You know, especially some of these teams we've already talked about, but the list is quite long. Super quick, guys, what I'd like to do is actually shift gears. Let's talk about predictions. We only have a few minutes here before we jump on that battle bus. Let's kind of talk things through and talk about which trios we think could walk away in that #1 spot, especially with this shakeup of double points. Me and Reese Hub, we are in agreement. Cammy, Seti, and Teak, they just come off the high win. These guys are absolutely on fire right now, but the question becomes, Reese, can they keep that rolling in the grand final?
I think so, because when you look at the Cash Cup and the Cash Cup Extra that they played immediately after, right, in the week after, they were still in the top 5 for both of them. Like, they were still on that performance. And if you know anything about Seti in particular, he's a grinder. I had the pleasure of speaking to their coach, Sven, who coaches the entire team for a long, long period. And a lot of the time, almost 50% of what we talked about was the mentality of the players and how much work and effort this team actually puts in. And I'm thinking, after a victory, they're not just going to move on. They're going to keep that grind up, and I fully expect them to be on top form today.
Yeah, look, I just want to say, I can't believe they are now allowing Zeke to get a prediction as well. So
I know.
they're allowing him to stand up, and they're giving him predictions. Wow, this guy has the one. I went Flowist, Scram, and Hellfire just because I really believe in them as a trio. I think they have the fundamentals right. They were incredible, obviously coming second in the FNCS that Kami City and Teak stomped. And I think when you look at what they can do, all of them understanding their role and how to play these games, I think they're going to be a shoo-in to do well over the course of this weekend.
Dude, it's time, but guess what? We're about to kick off the competition. Let's go hang out with Shy Wager and Sancho West, who's back in the saddle. I missed you, brother.
Thank you so much, Zeke, Levin, and Reese. Welcome to the Grand Royale Finals. Take a seat. Are you ready? Because it's time to get going. 2 days of awesome competition, Sancho. A crazy format as well, but it all starts right now with game #1.
Yes, it is going to go down here, and thank you so much, Zeke, for the welcome back. And I missed you, Fortnite fam, and this is what's so exciting. It is the premier region of competitive play, and I don't know, man. We saw my prediction. My prediction right now, I have to go with Aqua Reason and Fast Roki. Sitting in the middle of the map, Boney Burbs locked down. Aqua always going for height. I know low ground wins championships, but hey, I got to believe in the boys.
Listen, I was on that path a little bit, but I hopped off the high ground bus. I'm going with Anas, Queasy, and Thomas HD. Caddy corner, not really scratchy anymore. There's no one really around them at all. So if they can get a nice lead on that first day, it might be fine. But there are those day 2 warriors that have records for setting points. So we'll see what happens. That being said, though, so many great teams all across the field, Sancho. The format to get here, everyone just had to win games over and over. So it's going to be cool to see who now wins in the lobby of all the total winners.
And it's definitely going to be cool to see because tomorrow is going to be double the points in day 2. And so all those slow start trios, like Thomas HD, like of the past,
I'm back.
you know how they always had those crazy day 2 starts. So I do have my eye on Andalux as well, just like Reese Hub I was talking about. But hey, it's all about day 1. I think right now it's all about conditioning the lobby to let everyone know that you're in the business, Shayo.
Absolutely. No matter where you're watching from, any social website, how's it going? Party Royale, how are you guys doing overall as well? Throw some tomatoes, get those emotes, throw whatever skins you have, rock them up. Over and over again, because this is going to be a nice 2 days of competition. 6 games, obviously, on each day. We'll see how things get rolling as that battle bus is ready to go. Players dropping all across the field and the map. The middle of the map, too, kind of upgraded. The pyramid overall. We'll see how people end up navigating that POI, but we're tuning in to that big fight at Steamy Stacks. Levin called it round 2. I call it the title card of this match.
We're talking about the heavyweights of the Steamy Stacks going toe-to-toe, and we've been seeing already what happens when Andretta and Savage walk out. They came in 2nd place with Repsguard, but it has been Struggle City with Savage, Benji, and Andretta. I'm worried right here, man. The tournament is at stake.
Absolutely, Andretta already possibly going for a 50-50. Yes.
Oh, no.
Tossed in the trash.
Oh.
Behind
Oj, oj, en treta se ubil. Bem difícil pra Savage, ja, dead boy. Ja.
Exactly, and when that trio loses one member, as you can see the results, they loosely get ousted and booted right back to the lobby. Savage is on borrowed time. And wow, already fireworks are happening here. Janice gets knocked as well down in Believer Beach by Tuna.
Yep, and if you guys want a weather report for this fight, what basically happens now is Savage goes on vacation, probably somewhere to outside of the map, maybe trying to get the sweep around Cartman, but no, not there.
Wow, great work here, Malabuka showing that he's still the king of Steamy Stats.
Yep, head-to-head fights also over at Misty Meadows. X-Squeeze handle, X-40R rolling in. We'll see if Bubak can handle
Forziark. Kaj san rek.
No, not at all. And what's interesting here is Andalex's trio has kind of staked a claim in here to Misty Meadows. And usually it is split, as we highlighted in the opening with Loki's trio. But we got to be concerned here if you're an Andalex fan out there who's looking for a two-time FNCS. This is a slow start, and Bubak is not easy to avoid.
Not at all. We see a little bit of the replays rolling in as well in terms of how things go. In Steamy, a few picks here and there.
I would have to say it was when Andretta went to the trash. And all that upended everything so quickly.
It's all about the all-ins, right? Sometimes you really have to push for it, especially when you have 12 games to work with overall. We saw it go back and forth a lot at Steamy. Misty sometimes it gets explosive the later the competition goes. In that first game, everyone playing so close.
Ki je zonje kornet s tim, ja.
You're taking a look here. Floki's trio is already gone. They usually land on the east side of Misty Meadows. So what does that give Andalex's trio? Well, they have options now. Now they have people landing at Disco. They have Skype, who they've already crossed so many times in the past here. So let's see what happens. Because you remember that one season when Skype was kind of contesting there at Caddy Corner? So here we go. Another round. A lot of familiar names contesting each other.
This fight should be on a timer as well, but the zone's so far away. You have to see that Caddy seems to be moving at some point. Third parties are so prevalent over here.
It's the timer's about 5 minutes. You got to get out. 5 or 6 minutes. You should already be on your rotation along the way. And as you can see, it is eating into this time. And this is what I'm talking about. The slow starts are going to hurt Andalex's trio.
Already we can see exactly how things are rolling. A little bit of a live report in terms of the action. It's so cool to look at. You can see a knock at least on Sunny Kemi and Teek's team. Even have Last Shot rolling in with a few eliminations.
And just to give you guys what happened in there, essentially, Kemi and Teek love to land early. They get to that big mountaintop and pick on dirty docks. Verox, Michael, and Astro. Verox is flying all by, and all of a sudden he gets knocked and eliminated. That's happened before. We saw Kemi setting Teek get to Thomas HD a couple seasons ago. Speaking of the man himself, here he is.
Yeah, recently signed an Astralis as well, which is so cool to say in the realm of Fortnite. An Osteron Guild Queasy also rolling in.
Sproti, ti slide loket, okay. Come on.
Be free, ready to rock in game number 1.
Was this your prediction? Was this your prediction to win it?
Yeah. We're rolling with this 100%.
Be with me. Hit with me.
I expect on this first day that they actually don't do absolutely amazing. If they do, that's going to be huge. But the big thing about this team is that they're like a ticking time bomb. When it comes to day 2 or like the last 3 games, they learn a lot, adapt, and really make up the points. In that day 2 format, Sancho, when it's double points, when a Victory Royale is 60 points overall, the elos are ramped up as well. Like, that is just heaven for Thomas HD and Austin Queasy. No matter what team they're even on, it just fits their playstyle. So I'm excited to see exactly how their story evolves over the 2 days. NYC rolling in. KS1 Lightroll Castle slightly rocky every time we tune in with it. Especially the first 2 games, you see people really fighting tug of war here inside the Forgotten Ruins on the top left side of the map. But this time looks like there's peace, diplomacy, not that much action.
As you see the team up there from Stealthy Stronghold, DKS making his rotation down, and already the defending FNCS champions are making their move like clockwork and finding themselves a gift of the llama. This is going to be a great thing. They're going to be gifted all the materials. They've been gifted the chili chugs, and take a look at that stat here. They set the EU record for most elims in a singles final last season with 34, and that was just Cammy by himself, which is kind of odd. You usually think Cammy said, they're not aggressive. But lately, they've been getting more aggressive. They've been not matching their placements with their elimination output.
What's scary about them too is that they're boring, honestly. It's just low ground, 6 out of 6, 12 out of 12 games. When a team isn't doing the most flashy things and still setting records, and 100% by the way, it is a lot of fun to watch overall. They're not the craziest high ground retakers though. They keep it basic and they just win games.
Listen, as a San Antonio Spurs fan, the fundamentals get you championships. And they always said the Spurs were boring. But hey, now we're taking a look at another big three rotating out of there. Of course, Janet's a two-time champion alongside
Tyson.
Noah Riley and Vidal. Another great pick and another strong team that we're seeing here in the middle of the pyramid.
Semifinal.
That's going to be huge. Kind of different now from just being the conversions overall. A lot of sight lines, block left and right. The cue positionings have also slightly changed and gotten a little bit higher. You can do a lot more, but at the same time, you are blocked off on certain angles. That could be good for a little bit of the hidey hole spots. Zippel, Smokey, Clement, note, strangers are getting surged, navigating around the middle portions of the map. Controlling centers this fast. I'm excited to see exactly what they can do in breakdown.
And what's exciting for this well, that Misty Meadows, you can see that they were able to get away skate-free, and look how fast far. That's what we're talking about. We saw Analex, he was already in Misty Meadows, and look at this trio that's also landed there, using that crash site, rotating out early, and now look at this. Fast-Rocky, Reason, Aqua, now we're seeing their plan, and they're pushing into Stealthy Stronghold.
So now you talk to me about why you think this team has the pop-off potential. Why is it now? Because every FNCS whoever's rolling with Aqua, it seems like the only move he knows is all in, and the team never roll his way.
It's about that day to double the points, man. I see it in my mind's eye. They're going to take height. They're going to rack in 15 eliminations. End the Victory Royale that's worth 60 points. We're talking about big bonus time. That's what's going to happen.
Absolutely. We'll see a little bit of a zoom out on the bottom right side of the map. Look at the zone. Going to be all the way towards the top. If you're paying attention to a little bit of that pre-show, a lot of times the players are predicting what happens in the zone next. It even pulls up further, so you'll see the lobby kind of migrate towards that point. We'll see who can actually control the game.
And they didn't put my man Aqua because he would get every single one right. This man is dead center in the middle of the zone. Fantastic. And already you see that Stealthy Stronghold team has a little bit of higher ground, so it's going to get quite chaotic here in the end game.
Yeah, so what are guys doing right now? Why is everyone just in cars, in the bases? What's the most interesting part about this mid-game? It's all about racking up damage and keeping track of something called Storm Surge. So if this is the first Fortnite tournament you're watching, basically to entice teams to actually do something. So me and you, Sancho, don't fall asleep while we're casting, right? So the viewers have something to watch. Everyone needs to do damage above a certain threshold. There it is. You can see it. I can just read it word for word. It'll do 25 damage every 5 seconds if you don't have enough damage overall above that threshold. So 70 players need to basically be alive by that third storm circle closing over. If they're not, that surge will rock in. The number gets smaller overall. But you'll see this relationship. You'll see a nice little pop-up go on the right side. You'll see how much damage each team needs. If you're below it, you're in trouble.
Not only in trouble, it's 4ZR, as you can see here, the late rotations casting them. They're only on the Defiant dish using that launch pad, and this is what was my concern when I was VOD reviewing everything, was these other southern trios coming from behind. Flyways and Ghosties, they've been here this entire time, and they're gatekeeping all these other teams, and 4ZR got knocked.
Kind of basically border patrol right now. The gold booth set up in the middle of the map. Assange was trying to explain us that when it comes to that launch pad, about 3-4 POIs, more than 10 drops end up using it. And these guys drop there and control it first, so they make sure they know exactly who's moving in and out.
And if you're a Flyways or Ghosts fan, I mean, yeah, you could definitely pick up the defense. You mentioned it, so much traffic happens, and sometimes you get tempted to just park and sit there and wait. As you can see, it's rotating in late. Here's a replay. Look at the replay right here. It goes in just a matter of, disgusting, nasty there, Shio.
It's not going to stop too. They're kind of on the backside of Flows right now, but anytime some Met kids get healthy, meanwhile, every other team who's not actually,
таких живых хват.
who've actually gotten to their destination so far. Although if it's Stealthy Stronghold as the zone closed in, this is so amazing. Steady can be peaking in an awesome position. They're always in the middle of the pack, Sancho. They're like in one of the most disastrous places to be on the map to edit, to go for shots, but somehow are unnoticeable. No one ever shoots back at them. and they stay safe till the end of the game. I'm looking at a team playing exactly the way they did in the last FNCS, and what happened there, they basically won the whole competition in one day. They set amazing records, and it was an EU, one of the hardest regions ever. They made day 2 an absolute breeze for their own team. Looks like they might be able to do it again.
When I was doing VOD reviews for this team, what usually gets in trouble in previous season is having other teams that need surge next to them as the surge warning goes off. When you have a team that's desperate, that goes box diving, sometimes this team struggles when you have more than one. Lately, they've been getting better on their defense. They've been getting a lot better fighting together hip to hip. So in the past, they used to be run over when Storm Surge. Now, they're in better positions, and they're going to know how to fight anyone that pushes them, that W keys into their area.
Absolutely. We were explaining Surge before as well. That's the pop-up on the right side above the mini-map. These guys are 283 damage above the threshold. There's about 25 players that need to go down. That's a lot of teams rolling in the sauce as well. You see exactly how they handle things in terms of staying above that threshold. One that's the lowest right now is around 200 below, and the Lex 60 below. All this fighting all the way from Misty. Stopped and Boney, lost 4 ZR, and they still won't have enough damage. 57 seconds on, so that lightning will start to strike.
This is what happens here, you know, the lack of preparation, the miscue, the misstep in their plan, their execution. They decided to kind of
Tibomar csinálva Pascal. Tibor ez egy hollaltam előttünk.
And I don't know, man. This is going to be, again, one of those games that could just say, hey, GG's, let's go ahead and try to fix it the next game.
Oh, look at this. Still fixing to be done here. It's just destruction. Scram looking for a few shots. How far already down? It's all up to Flows to be the kind of difference maker in this fight, change the tides. He might just with a huge edit, actually getting his teammate kind of out as well. That was really slick by Flows to kind of even things out overall. They can go for that revive as well. Pressure will take. It's still a little bit of a 3v2. Melody looking to keep dropping it. Fix edits, notice as well. The more this fight goes on, the more noticeable it is to every arrow and weapon part, making things look not as nice. And Flow is trying to escape. Does get procced down as a shield.
Какой еще 5 interviews in Chile?
A little bit of a box, and some of the builds might even be his. This is a world of pain and hurt for everyone, and they can't even move out. Every house is taken, absolutely rented out. There's nowhere else to go. One of these teams needs to win this fight. The damage for Monaco, 465, almost 500 above. This is huge for them to keep drilling those shots.
What a great work by that trio there. It's making the Flowis's trio eat up all their hard mats, and not only that, getting themselves an elimination in the process. So that's very key.
Now you can see the difference in worlds, basically, right? Everyone that's really well set off in high bases, like Seti, Kami, and Teak, looking to see what they want to do. Aqua, all the way in the crash sites. Then, if you look at this right now, kind of the poverty line all the way towards the zone.
Gone.
People struggling. Yeah, Andalex inside the zone as well. They're all in box fights. They're just desperate. Teammates also down. Hellfire gone. Scrambles amazing shots, and that team's also getting targeted by Surge, so that's a double up. And now they're just going to have to do this with 2 players overall.
Big surprise considering that trio Scram came in at 2nd place last season, but now we're looking at another trio to be a lot better here, newly formed for this one. Vidil, Noah, Riley, Janice, coming from Believer Beach. And hey, this is what I'm talking about. Procrastination is going to get you in trouble here, but luckily they have the box fighting skills kind of bail them out. You know those people that like never study, but all of a sudden get still get an A? You know, like that's what Janice and Vidil, Noah, Riley are doing right now.
Very academic. There's Noah Riley. One of the things that Noah Riley and Vidil especially just like to do a lot is go for those isolated box fights to keep up with Surge. We saw it at the very beginning of the year. It's going to stay the same all throughout. Sometimes you can really push the brakes and go for long-range tags. But you like to see some of the best fighters in you.
Atajsan Batista živi.
Nisam get all their Surge dealt with in that early game off the mountains when there were snipers. Thomas was popping off with them too, but right now they keep it classic.
I just want to put a pause on the play-by-play. Look at that mini-map, folks, right there. Look at how many trios here are rotating late into the southeast stronghold. That's the issue that you want to avoid. You want to have a clean rotation, and that's what Thomas A.T. Queasy. Look at all the obstacles they have to work through just to get into the safe zone.
It's a wave of players. A tsunami is what's going to look like all the way at the very end of this. Everyone's going to start to stack on top of each other. That wave of players, the boxes, get higher and higher overall. But there's some impenetrable walls. Thomas HD is trying to set a box. Another player here as well. Some of the top teams. The worst thing, absolute disaster, is getting stuck on the rotation. Queasy and Anas are already down. One of the teams that had a free ticket, a ride all the way towards the end of this game. It's a max pull zone for their POI, and they struggle getting to it.
That's where it happens. So much has been used right now. Thomas HD on the back foot. Does have a launch pad. He just wanted to extend himself. I mean, he's not even near the placement points. I think he's just on the cusp of actually getting a little bit more of a chunk. If he could make it past the 25, but that lobby focus, oh my goodness, it's strong. But he does have the heals. Does
Tyson,
have just needs to go ahead and stabilize. Stabilize. Woosah. Woosah.
And who's the one actually making all this chaos happen? It's Tayson and Chapix. They kind of started on this side of the map. They're kind of feeling fresh at home. Just a little bit down the neighborhood, you know, parked down the block, made a right. Yeah, and you can see these guys absolutely tearing people up trying to move in.
Yeah, and they've been working. Tayson only has about 30 medium assault rifle bullets, so it's like they've been putting a lot of work. They're no doubt maybe high on the storm surge because Tayson doesn't miss.
Absolutely not. Look at this though. Craziness inside Stealthy Stronghold. I would never assume that people actually wanted to face up low ground in the middle. There's no trees now they're getting chopped down to. Steady getting peak. Might be a good position overall. They can tarp in his home, but after this, if it moves out of the stronghold, they have a huge job to do to move out.
I agree. I remember a couple seasons ago being in the bowl of the Stealthy Stronghold. You get eliminated very quickly if the storm washes back here, so they have to be careful.
Yeah, and I really love this overall update for what the points look like right now across the board. Flyways, Ghostless, they're looking really good in terms of just being ahead of the pack entirely. The eliminations, the guarding they did overall makes them just be a little bit further ahead, taking out XP Sports Dark completely as well. Puts them about double the points of anyone else. You upkeep that lead, but this is where the ties kind of change. All those mid-game warriors maybe doing so much work to be put slightly behind everyone who's been on these high spots waiting on the Guardian Towers of Stealthy Stronghold. This is where they get to play. This team, not so much though, because it's just Thomas HD.
He could do it though. We've seen him clutch before. I know I have to go back all the way to season 4. This man clutched so many times at the Sentinel Graveyard.
Yeah, let's just go back one season 2 on Ops with some of the craziest point swings as a solo player. I think he started that trend of, hey, game 1, my teammates are down. Let me just clutch up 20 points and keep us in the running. The win condition of Thomas HD right now isn't getting a huge pick, isn't just getting full high guard or trying to win the game. It's just trying to stay alive, stay on top of placement. 97 damage above the threshold. He just needs to land a few shots, doesn't need to convert them into anything. Make sure the mats are fine, pray for those zone pulls, and just stay in the game.
That's what's all on the line right now. My concern is that storm surge. Only 66 above. It's going to take a knock. Oh my goodness. It is not easy, and he's going to have to box fight the Malabuka. That's not going to happen here, but now we're just seeing how everybody else is positioning here. And look at that. It's half in and half out. That's going to be the danger here. It's not only half in and half out in the storm, but the Stealthy Stronghold splits that safe zone almost in half.
Yeah, one side Stronghold, the other side just free farm fields. Not going to be too much action on that side though. We're still looking at the outside, the danger zone, a place where no one can really call it home. Bad Sniper relaxes the force down around him. He has nothing else to do, just kind of rocking down a timer, but it's not seconds he's counting, it's his materials, his mats. Now just up the wood, 500 left. He's at a sliver of a spot. He actually tries to respond back to 3 players on the front. Gets dropped down and runs into 2 himself. Karma and Kylie pick him up right there.
If you're ever in that situation, you got to break the line of sight, move over, extend out. He just did not have enough hard mats to withstand. And of course, when you see someone in trouble, the end down was all it took to get him eliminated. On Aqua gets eliminated by Chapix. So our picks are not doing so well so far, but it does not matter right now. Let's see who will walk away with that victory royale here in game 1 of the Grand Royale.
Offer going down really good for Thomas HD overall.
Nice.
Picks up for Stash as well.
Okay.
Why is it good? Because he's right above him in these layers. Everything in the space is just going crazy.
Yeah, you remember when I said this man will not box fight Malabuka? I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Strike the record. This man will go into that, and he got Malabuka really weak.
Yeah, and players actually can't see the lightning or hear it strike until it actually cracks shield. So I think he heard Shizo's shields kind of go down. He knows Malabuka's in trouble. He's going for the shots, but he also smells and senses desperation.
Okay, he got the knock.
First going to take out Malabuka. He's got the server on his side right now, Sancho. One player needs to go down for the surge to stop. He's still kind of in a power play position. Just needs to delay. One of those first AR shots also hit Shizo. Does he get the elimination for it is the question. I'm not sure. There's Malabuka.
Yes.
Is there another? Oh, almost. I don't think it actually racked in for his team. Maybe. It did?
No, I was just saying the big thing that more importantly is he got the refresh that he desperately needed. He was really low on hard mats, got about 500. So now the Thomas HD clutch factor, the superstar that we know he can be, is now well equipped for in-game.
I think Bubak knows exactly where he is overall, though, and what's going down here. So many materials left inside this box. If Thomas H is able, as he has zone, to tarp all the way out, come back and pick these up, he essentially has the inventory of 2 players to work with.
Below 179. Now 200. You can hear as much of those bullets rattling off in the distance. Every connected shot puts Thomas HD behind that Storm Surge 8 ball, folks.
As that launch runner probably just wants to use the legs. Because some of the advantages you have when you're really working with time. A half pad, 2, nice dodge towards the right. Playing low ground might be tough, so staying in the middle, yeah. And elevating is convenient. Picking up a few in the speed. 46. Looking at things, drop down all the way to 35 once the second zone locks in. And Thomas is still pressuring down and finding almost a few eliminations just as a solo player.
It's unbelievable to see what Thomas can do. A lot of people had so many questions for him considering he went down, but there is no question right now who is in the power position to win this game. That is Vidil, Nor, Riley, and Janice.
They're looking really good on height. Recently just fought for Equated. Now they just need to make sure to hold on, make sure to bolster it as much as possible. Reconnect as well as Genius. Thomas HD, though, his world is starting to get a really chaotic and different. Lightning now striking 232 damage below. 1 more second basically left. He needs to land a big pop. 113. Another one to finish. Is he above? Not just yet. Oh my god, ticking down in the zone. All the way down to 20 HP. Picks up Clement as that surge turns off. Just surviving by the skin of his teeth, down to 4 HP. He's still working through it, picked up so many mats. Thomas HD is clutching up game 1 in a way he should not be allowed to, so the universe comes to and makes sure everything is possible physically right again. He goes down, but what a performance.
The defending FNCS champion, Cammy, had to stop the run of Thomas HD. Now it's Cammy and Seti, the duo, working together to maybe withstand and get those placements that they're really known for. And this is, look at this, 7 eliminations and a possibility for a top 10 finish. Wow, what a great start for the defending FNCS champion.
Yeah, but with no teak, we don't have that endgame freak to be able to just go into low ground and pop off over and over again. This is going to have to be another all-in from this team. When we see it happen, no, never mind. Cammy actually gave his match over to Seti to make sure to all the way tarp in. He needs to pop this medkit off. 8 crucial seconds to see what they can do. At the same time, Hottie Satch popping off inside the P4, going down, mixing all the way on low ground. It's getting super active. Meanwhile, Janice O'Reilly, Vidil, they're looking so good on height. They're forcing everyone to fight below them. 7 eliminations for this team. Now they go for the shots in the all-in. There's the first one. Clean out this lair. Extermination as Butrick goes down. They're just fumigating every single box. Sandwich play down. That's just front and back pump shots over and over. It cost Seti his life, but Cammy, he's active now, going for those double-digit eliminations.
It doesn't matter if they're a full trio. They own the low ground. They're going to possibly get a big finish right here. They went from top 10 now to top 5. And this is what I'm talking about. It's these free placement points, the points that they're not supposed to get. This trio does.
Cammy all the way from the backside off field, but misses the pump inside the stronghold. But what is really safe? Not this player inside the box. 8 HP. The siphon can't come through. Elocrass is there to make sure he doesn't see the light of day again. Now Vidil, he's hunting. He doesn't want to just let the game run out. He wants to finish it himself. He finds Elocrass all the way on low. No chance for a heal game. He's making sure his entire trio stays alive as well. They don't just win. They do it in style. But with Nor Riley down, maybe the fashion isn't looking as good as it should be. Big edits for Vidil. Blocked by a ramp, goes down very smart, plays all the angles, but don't forget about Janice, don't forget about the big boys, controlling height since the start of that endgame and winning it the first game victory royale.
7 eliminations to Boots, but the story has to be that now these lobbies are doing solo clutches in what is known as the most strongest lobby we've had in a long time. It's Grand Royale, folks.
Absolutely, that was just amazing from Janice, Vidil, Noah Riley. A phenomenal game overall.
That's what we like to see, folks, and that's just only game 1, and we're going to be here for 5 more, Shayo. But yes, I was very impressed there by the solo touches, but at the end of the day, when the trio's on height, they have the power.
Yeah, and this is one of the trios that we were looking at to really show that power, explode in that last FNCS. Looks like they've been saving it for the after show, the epilogue. I really want to know what the desk is thinking about that one, Sancho, because if this team is rocking in and they're controlling the game, that's trouble for everyone else that's in the field.
Gentlemen, first off, gotta say, game one, super dope. Sancho, it is so good.
Guys,
I cannot believe what has just transpired in game number one. Setting everything, of course. You know they're doing this. They're getting the run back. It's like we're re-watching Chapter 2 Season 9, right? They're back there. We're like, oh, where are they? Oh, wait, they're placing third, and now they have 10 eliminations. Vadil, no, Rally Janice, they got the victory royale with 7 eliminations as well. But, I mean, that's basically the same amount of points, right? Because of these extra eliminations, because of this high placement, now you have these two Titans once again going, okay, we're back at this again, huh? We're getting the repeat? Okay, that sounds good to me.
Thomas,
we've spent the whole year talking about this team and how they needed a bit more firepower. Yeah, they got the fundamentals great. Yeah, they got everything
Thomas
sorted out, but they need a bit more firepower. Cammy went absolutely insane there, right? Like I've never seen somebody just sort of, you know, go so unchained. Right? Like he really, you know, when people say pressure makes diamonds, like that was really Cammy in that end game there. Some of the shots he was hitting, Reese, like that was filth.
Yeah, and it started right here, like right at the start of the game. He set himself up so easily to look out. And this is what we've been talking about all season, right? Cammy Teak always get that high drop. They always make sure they situate themselves on a high elevation, get someone out of the sky, easy storm surge tags, and that's what set them up so easily to pop off in the end game with Cammy. Obviously, he had 80 limits to himself, which was absolutely massive. Some of the other early game stuff that we looked at too. Over in Stevie Stacks, we saw it happen from Andrea, and this was purely all down to, let's be real, this was a bad drop from Andrea. He did not get the god drop. He didn't deploy the right angle. He misses the weapon. He sees Mustache down there too, and he misses that one too. And you know, I'm not going to joke about jumping in the trash. We love Andrea here. He's my boy.
We love Andrea, and he knows we love him, but it was absolutely trash. I don't know what to tell you. That was a trash drop. Like, look. Mr. Grand Royale was the biggest event we've had since World Cup way back in what the day.
Go things,
you can't come out here on a serious thing. Like, you can't come out here.
Gledamo, Grand Royale.
And look, that's what cost you. They were like the only team that went down.
Zdaj se zmagali te Noah Riley pa Janis pa te. Pa po 44 pik, drugi so pa Kami 7 pik, ko imajo tudi 44 pik, so imeli 10 kilov, oni so zmagali pa 7. Tyson pa te so tretji, so bili četrti z 7 kilovi. Tako. Thomas je full klačil tle. Thomas je imel 5 kilo na pa 12. Full je klačil. Oni so že umrli pri 30 timih, no. Ja, to. Tyson tretji, to je god. Ja, Kinzel je kvolo, nije, ne. Kinzel ni kvolo.
Massive swing. You've got to think across the span of, what, 12 games? That 20 points alone that he got was so incremental, right? It's obviously rough to see Queezy's team go down. We saw the complaints coming out about the storm surge coming through there, but Thomas absolutely made the most of that situation.
120,000 je performance. Hard je klač, ja, full klač.
I'm fanboying, I love it, you know.
A vidva igrata Fortnite zdaj. 2 milijona 250,300 so dali denarja na EU. What? Evo, game 2.
Thanks so much, Zeke 11 and Reese. Okay, so we see Anas's team with a 20-point clutch. Said he can be with a low ground type of game that was consistent. Sancho, last season is kind of happening again in the Grand Royale.
I mean, I think it's because it's so close. I mean, we literally just had the other finish to the FNCS Chapter 2 Season 8 like a couple weeks ago, and now we're still in the same season. Normally you have an FNCS competition, a couple more weeks, new metas, new weapons come out, maybe a new mobility item, so that's why it kind of feels like deja vu, but I think there's a little bit more differences is that Thomas and trio is looking a lot stronger than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, they have these one-off games, just want to make sure they continue to keep that consistency, but to look at the deja vu list and keep going on, we've got basically Aqua in the height, failing on that half-and-half kind of zone, right? That happened before as well,
čez vsakih čez vsakih tako ene 20 minut pet pogled, ker takrat je lih endgame, da na vsakih 20 minut pol dej na stream.
Brigade number 2 That is the question as we roll in.
Ne, nisam, ne, jesam za to. Ne, nisam dovršio. Drugače ti im dao moda, tako jutro najbrž. Ko boš pršel na stream. Ti im dao moda, sam je spam, okej. Ej, prejšnji game su umrli, Savage pa ti u Steamiju, takoj. 50-50 je šel ender.
The same building. Can he land it? Mustache 2 is rolling in with it. Fighting on Kurama, getting electric.
Just gotta see here, Malbuka Murstache, they want this main building, and this is if they could hold on to that, you can see the power they have. And then once again, Janice goes down early in Believer Beach. This is the second match in a row that has happened. Even though they were able to get the victory royale, you gotta be a little bit of you gotta be concerned. Gotta be concerned that you go down that early, because eventually the odds will catch up to you. Right now, Sophie, if you're in Dreda, you're a Savage and Benji fan, you're happy right now. But like I said in the previous match, they cannot go down. If one of them goes down, historically, Malabuka just runs them over right after that.
Savage and HP.
They need to get the early knock to be able to survive this engagement.
I think the fans will be happy, yeah, because they might just be a little bit alive, but in Dreda, no way to really have a conversation at long range, just an SMG and that lever action roll against Savage at 1 HP has a few shields, and Dreda will actually want to look
Benji Fisher so spet ubil.
AKA no HP whatsoever. Benji Fisher
Spet
already down.
entereto.
Savage now
Spet je sam Savage stao.
101 HP to roll in, but most of it just shields. These guys are looking clinical this time, Sancho. Before, it was strugglesome. It was a little bit fractured from both teams. It would go blow for blow inside this boxing match to the face over and over. But this time rolling in, Malabuka Murstache tries to look like they have trucks attached to their fists, not gloves. They're rolling through Savage, Benji, and Andretta.
Last season, the results of these kind of fights led to a 23rd finish for the boys of Andretta, Benji, and Savage. The only saving grace is that last game, we got the limited eliminations in the Royale. If that was to happen again in day 2, they would shoot up the leaderboard. So that's what I mean with this kind of format. It's different. All these players that haven't played in this format, and so we got to keep an eye on that. And the other thing we got to keep an eye on is Andalex. Do they hurry up? Did they pick up the tempo? Because last time they really hurt themselves by taking too long trying to pick on this team out of the Disco Club.
Yeah, we're also to get that damage though. Big thing for Andalex like Suiz and 4CR, these north zones just keep pulling them all the way over to spots of the map where they're not going to be performing as well. Every time it's a little bit more southern, mountainous, or center zone overall, that's where they really can have control, dictate who moves back and forth. But when they have to be the movers, that's where we see a little bit of struggle.
And that's what happens here. When that first zone's revealed, you have to have a plan to be able to move faster. And last time when I was watching the NA West, when I was covering that region 2 seasons ago, you see Arkham's trio, they have these warp-type rotations. You'd be like, wait a minute, 5 minutes, they're already all the way down into Misty Meadows? How can they be? I mean, these guys move fast. And that's what you got to do. You got to move fast. Everything's on a timer right now, and all these Fortnite pros know that timer. And considering that Noah Riley here is going to have to work as a duo with Badil, actually, correction, the reboot band goes off. Now they're a full force trio, so we're seeing that trio could handle the little bit of issues. They could come back at full force, and they could win a victory royale.
Just like utilizing, you know, all aspects of the game. If there's a reboot, you know, use it. You know what I'm saying? I think Janus would just even go down to fall damage to be able to get rebooted and keep that regular mantra up even if he's uncontested.
And at the same time, you'll be able to have a longer reboot card time. It's been a change. I know the last season has been in there, and it's definitely helping out not only in the competitive scene, but in pubs. Now, Thomas HD looking good, and this is our teams right now. This is second place. Thomas HD's clutch was able to get into 8th place coming into this match.
Nice.
Viš koliko ih je živih, prejšnjih je bilo tako, vsej drugi zon zapravo jih je bilo 95 fulka, še živih palje pa srče, vsako bil do 70.
We're looking at Dirty Docs, we're looking at maybe even a little bit of a retail pull depending on how things are looking and feeling. And Mr. Teak will have a lot of control over every team that wants to go back and forth, flyways, and Ghostless aren't done yet with their fights. They're still bullying people, but this time it's looking a little bit more scratchy.
These are the kind of fights that are definitely scratchy because of that pad. You could have disengagement, just like kind of in Steamy Stacks. The IO vehicles as well, they could get out if you go into Weeping Woods. One of the things, though, that really worked for Fly Ghosting and Waves for the previous round is they had a lot of people rotating late to them that were kind of weak, that had to use a lot of materials to get here, and just like that, Waves, oh no, I love these plays. These are the kind of plays. Yes, sir. I love the kind of plays. It takes me back, man. That's the kind of plays you need to make to survive in the Grand Royale. 1 HP, Shio. 1 HP in a dream.
If you can't build, just hop in the whip.
Kogo to biłem? What?
Jump out and win off the rip. This is crazy for Waze, turning a situation that should not be winnable into a crazy one. And he wasn't even in the driver's seat for that one. He kind of just Grand Theft Auto that entire car. That's just not allowed. That's just insane.
And that's why we saw them get so many eliminations in game 1, and they start game 2 with the cheeky 1. Let's go.
Symptos, Loki Clement, not the craziest early game for them, and it never really is. They just end up rotating fast, end up just in Lazy Lake as well, picking up all the scraps they can. That was insane though from Waze. If that's the way their game is going, no wonder there might be a little bit of struggle inside endgame. It's just maximum stress at all times.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's take a look at the replay.
NHP,
Folks, look at that
1 HP, by the way.
1 HP.
How many shots does he dodge? That's one dodge with a 50. Back in. Samplify's like, wait, dude's in my car. Gets the siphon. Oh my goodness. That for me, that's play of the season so far. I know we had an entire FNCS before, but in terms of early game, that's just insane.
Let's go ahead and we'll put the clip right there. That is the play so far. Let's see if it'll be beat. I love it. That's the kind of, like I said, those are plays you need to make, man. I mean, it's kind of like they always say, like, you know, you need to win your 50-50s. You need to win your 1v1s, and that was a 1v1. He had the first shot, and then all of a sudden, he gets down to 1 HP. I'm still speechless about that, but what was speechless was this team's performance last season.
Yeah, I mean, left us just flabbergasted and wondering, hey, do we even need to watch day number 2? This time, though, no matter what they do on day 1, there should be a chance for everyone to just pop back and control things, maybe even pop off on that day number 2. The biggest thing about Seti Kamitik, though, is that how do you stop them? They're at such a niche drop that they know, right? It's not like you're landing at Steamy Stacks. There's 3 buildings like recent level we're breaking down. You can't really see exactly where the power points are in the game. You can't track them in the mid game because they're kind of far away from everyone else. Dirty Docs is in their own fight 24/7. And in the end game, you want to control low. You know how difficult that is? And they have a wrap on it. It's just absolutely beautiful for them.
Now we're seeing right here Michael Astro Verox
Jezu,
up here the Dirty Docs
Petadillo.
with Lucia's trio.
What the fuck?
Lucia's really low at the moment here, and this is what Cammy Seti Teak want to see, because they know they can kind of dip in the third party if they want to, but Lucia tried to get away and gets denied.
That's what I like. The best things about these 1v3 fights is when you don't actually take that much damage or use too many
Daj boście te grywa duo aren.
Very nicely.
Nem, jutro mi grał. Mi grał tylko bene. 11 najbrž 200. Daj som zbudil, ko se zbudil, streamu bom pa pol popoldne najbrž. Ja. Razen, če naredim 2 streama. Bine, to kdaj boš ti danes igral?
Their day, their entire story just starts off with a solo clutch. I just feel like that's what it is. If we can check in the back, look for the stat as to if that is the thing, because I swear to God, seeing us with a solo 20-point game over and over again every single season. They're no strangers to that strat in this Grand Royale either, and they're going to be doing really good if they'll stay alive as well.
And you're seeing what their strategy is for Storm Surge. They're going to dip into Dirty Docs when they see that feed light up with some eliminations from Verox's trio or Lucia's trio. They're going to go ahead and roll in. They're going to see what they could kind of take. They were able to get any kind of successful tags, but now we're seeing what their strategy is. Sometimes they dip down into the Camp Cod area, or sometimes they rotate over into that Blood Factory. But now we're seeing that they want to take advantage of this log jam that's happening here in Dirty Docs.
To looks amazing. Nicky Tyson.
Merchandise. Meanwhile, all the way at Corny Crops, a little bit over towards the west. Screwy, Stompy, and Shady. Looking for their chance to do a little bit of damage. It'll be base-to-base tags, which are always the most difficult to manage because people can always reply back to you. You cannot leave them on Do Not Disturb.
And this trio is being pretty much being put together You have Shady, who's his first time in the FSGS. Scrivy, in the last time we here, he finished 26th place in Season 6 of Chapter 2. But Stompy is their workhorse. This man is a Trio Season X champion. I mean, they came in 3rd place in Season 7 in Chapter 2 with Pink and Nebs and Stompy. So Stompy feeling like, you know, he wants some validation here. I mean, a little bit of disrespected in terms of not having a trio. And I'm surprised that Pink and Nebs dropped Stompy here, considering he's such a decorated veteran in the Fortnite scene.
And people might just be switching things up all the way for the last tournament of the year, right? Trying out maybe one different flavor.
I mean, that flavor was working though.
Tyson, dokler mi reći o dosta, kako?
It was such a nice team, man.
It was a good team, man. They always were there. They always contested for height, but that's going to be a very valuable member. So Stompy definitely has to stay on his feet for Shady and Scrivy.
Tyson Chapek's Hendo, they're staying up in the sky. Looking real good so far. I'm having a little bit of a sense of danger though for a lot of teams. They're all on these high bases. No one's really getting shots off on each other.
I remember this year. You flashing back. Remember when Savage's trio was in the blue end this, and we're like, oh, they're in a perfect position, and all of a sudden the storm kind of pushed them out, and they just went down so early, and they had no ammo because all their AR. That's that kind of sense of danger you're feeling right now.
Every time I see people on that antenna, especially super early, nothing ever good ends up happening.
It's a good idea, you know?
It's a really good idea, but and honestly, it's probably what, or 100% what they should be doing. It's just every time we sit on broadcast, for some reason, that team becomes absolute shambles in like 3 minutes.
Yes.
It's like cursed, but there's no rally of a deal. I think it's good that they struggle, and we see them struggle earlier on. If Genesis is knocked, if they have Storm Surge issues, usually end up fixing them and then winning games. So they're on that path right now, but if they take too much damage, if they can't solve this problem, it should be wraps for game 2. Genesis is really looking forward to fixing this, going for anything right now.
And this is exactly their method of operation. How they fix Storm Surge, like I said, they don't do their homework. They go ahead and just ace the test here, and they do it with their box fighting skills. I wish I had these mechanics to be able to fix the holes in my game, because this is definitely a whole Noah Riley Genesis Vidil game, is Storm Surge. So, you know, just like a big old drywall plaster right there, it fixes it up easy with the box fight.
Now you gotta pick the right wall though, gotta pick the right location. The last time we watched in game number 1 their fight, completely isolated, 3v3, no other team even on the mini-map, or even if you zoomed it out around them. This time in Corny Crops, they've invaded a base that was very active. A lot of teams know they're here, and it's a 3-team base as well, so we'll see what ends up going down. They're gonna have to really force this fight. The deal already down, and this was the trick that kind of tripped them over and over again in seasons, going for the wrong fight at the wrong time. Unfortunate, they're not going to be able to find a more isolated one. One teammate down, and this is the Struggle City Central.
The Storm Surge doesn't care about time. You gotta go, you gotta move, you gotta fight. And that's what's happening right here. I don't doubt Janice Vidil nor I don't want to take this engagement though.
Have to use chugs to make sure Vidil does not actually go down to that surge as he's knocked. Janice doesn't lose his shields at the same time as Noah Riley tries to help. He also gets rattled in the back. This is going to be tough. It might just be down to Noah Riley, and then at the end of the day, no damage even done back and forth from Janice's side. Still 139 below. Noah Riley with a legendary pump is looking for something, but cannot connect a single shot. This is just trouble. Vidil finally fully confirmed. Noah, do something. Find anything. One shot is good enough, but not going to be the total problem solver. Still 70 damage below. There's so many teams' heads he can really just pick apart, and Boomy's going to be the first one that he finds. Another big chomp down. An event should be available close by. He needs to act fast, though, because there's still teams waiting inside the zone to pick this team apart.
He needs to activate the clutch gene right now. More importantly, 9 people have to go down. And no, he goes down himself. Stompy and Co., who we highlighted a little bit ago, go ahead and get the job done. And hey, you just did not ace that test. It catches up to you every now and then. Let that be a lesson for you at home, kids.
Too many application questions. I think that's the issue, right? You can go by on that multiple choice, right? You can go over the 50-50s. It's fine. But even for Kami said he peaked right now. They're not doing too well with these quiz answers. 14, 3, 28. You're going up and down. Plus and minus. This is just a showing for the entire lobby and how good they are with Surge right now. They're popping off.
I was seeing this happening when I was VOD reviewing the Season 8 Chapter 2 finals. Essentially, a lot of the big names will take center positions, but you're seeing the sacrifice that you make when you sit in the center. You better hit your shots, kid, because if you don't, you're going to meet the big purple lightning at the end of the day. Let's take a look at the replay here, how it went down on Stompy's side. The triple spray, doesn't matter how good your mechanics are, you're not going to survive that, brother.
It's all about just laying down a trap, and they won the 1v1 fight against the teams at least, right? But when there's 3 teams and it's not isolated, when you're an aggro team and you're trying to go for these fights, that's where things trip up. It's a boxing match against 2 opponents. It's just not fair.
And Skriwai from Norway got 2 knocks in that engagement between Nadil's trio. And it was something that kind of reminds me, that's what happened 2 seasons ago when Vidil, they would always get into these fights where all of a sudden 3 trios would be right next to them, and then they just couldn't handle it. Too much pressure. But what's on the pressure right now is Thomas AC and Nas. I mean, we talked about it. They didn't even qualify for Season 7, Chapter 2. They didn't really even hear. And that was such a big surprise, and they went ahead with that mix-up. And I think getting Queasy, an FNCS champion, was a great pickup. And no doubt, that's why it's your pick, but I'm excited to see how they do it because they're slowly putting it together. And it's not about what you're doing in the past, it's about the momentum you carry into the Grand Royale. You gotta put a little roll in that R, the Grand Royale. So, let's see how that works out for the trio.
Look at this though, Sunny T. If perfection wasn't enough, one of the only teams to pull zone being dead center. I mean, this is just amazing. Shows us how good they are with the rotations, map management as well. It's looking so good all the way up to this point. The ammo looking dope as well. We keep moving on towards the entire game. This is just genius.
Yeah, let me expand on that. They're going to have the mats for the rotations. They have the mobility. They saved all that. They usually dip into everything that they have. They got a pad, they're going to use it no matter what. They're not going to hold on to it. So that is why they always get into the top 5 situations. And with their clutch mechanics, with the solo potential, that's why they get those bonus points. And they already did it once, and they could definitely do it again and again and again.
Might look tricky too because you see a lot of their shields gone, a lot of the utility out of the basket, but all they really need from this point onwards is damage and those launch pads. They can just move on low ground, play box to box. One of the best parts about low ground is it's kind of like the sewer tunnels of Fortnite overall. Everyone's waste that's dropping once they get picked apart from the high ground trickles down. They get to pick up all the shields, the easy access mats, the solo players that are walking around their box. They just go for pads, stay ahead of the zone, and wait for that waste to roll in. They can just get their inventories racked up in an instant.
I'm curious. Okay, I was about to say, let's see where are the boys at here. They've been sitting on this blue antenna well above Storm Surge, so that's good to know. And because of that, Tayson loves to rotate early. He loves to put his trios in position towards a great place, usually dead side, close to the center. But as you can see on the mini-map, they're about really close to the dead side area. They have to move a little bit more south here. So they're choosing to be here for Storm Surge to get as much potential. And hence, no matter what the ping is, he will hit his shots. This man, no matter where, he's going to collect the bag, and he's seen it time and time again on his social media timeline, him getting so much cash cut placements.
All's going to be the trios with the, or the trio with the coldest keyboards in the lobby. They haven't moved since we tuned in like in the second circle, so their position so good overall. They're not going to fall to that antenna curse. Illocraft, CTQ, Hottie going to be moving around. Coolest strategy to watch from these guys. Every time I look at them, they're kind of countering different trios, kind of playing in the shadows of different builds above them. Sometimes, though, it gets tricky. It hurts to watch them make a wrong move, and this might be it. The zone is moving overall. Everyone's going to be pressured to keep rolling. They're 187 damage. Below that surge, you really need to make sure to catch up on things. Maybe this is why they're staying so close to other teams, but it's going to be a struggle to get that damage at this point.
Thomas HT gets a knock on T-Cut. I agree with you on that. And again, Stompy's trio and co are literally have to play defense against another team desperate for Storm Surge. And ETQ, Hottie, and Trevor and Illocraft are in trouble here. And they're definitely going to get tripped up. They weren't even in. Now it's up to Hottie, ETQ, going up against another FNCS champion, Kiriachi, Toos, and Floki Clement are all here to collect the scraps. Stompy and co are rolling in, but wow.
It's the struggle, especially when you have to launch early Sometimes that launch pad can act as an alley-oop, get you into another trio's box to really get that dunk in with the damage. But when you're moving first, there are no boxes made, nowhere to go. Unfortunate for them. You're calling Thomas taking out Teak. That's going to be a huge elimination. And look at them. They're going to adapt the playstyle as well, stay completely low, look to control everything and make sure they get to all stay alive for this endgame.
That was a great short pad, but they're on the low side of this circle here. The upper side here, the south side, has a high vertical. If it goes up there, they're in trouble.
Yeah, if it pulls back, though, their mats are going to be so efficient overall.
Yeah, okay.
They're going to be fine. And they still have, from this point, right? When you're at the lowest point of elevation, you can max pad. And that max pad turns into a short pad for the front side of the zone. It's huge.
And they have the harpoon. Thomas HC has 10 charges into that, so he could go ahead and grab any valuable loot that he sees. You're going to be looking at that. Maybe they look back into the storm. So much great things happen. And Thomas HC as well. He did some great work with that Burst A rifle, was able to lead some shots into some builds.
And they do pull a little bit of that zone, so no launch pad alchemy needed whatsoever. A different flavor all the way on high ground. We're going to be a little bit towards the right side of the map so you can see some of those homeowners, Astro, Michael, and Verox from Dirty Docs looking to control things overall. But how long will their reign last all the way on height? Because you know there's going to be multiple trios looking to take it.
And this trio played the most in this FNCS Grand Royale. They played so many. They are the most consistent trios. They played all the loading, reloading, rebooting, whatever you want to call it. They played the most, and they have the high ground.
The trio of the 6 pads, so to speak, then. So we'll see exactly what they do. Trouble for Thomas HD, though. Down to 10 HP. We talked about what it takes to get to this point. Sometimes it's all of your shields. It looks like they don't have that max pad to really use. Something must have gone terribly wrong. They started this with 8 peppers. They barely even used them. Now, finally, rocking in with 4 and a few split on the other side. They have to play by themselves. Only to get Thomas's loot whatsoever. Find someone else's box on a launch pad. That's going to be huge. Floppers there, too, for Queezes to use. Neb's on the bottom side, but look at who's up top.
Tyson na hajto. Let's go.
And they have the mats because we've been seeing the whole time with those cold keyboards, but it's about to get hot, and they have the potential to get those elims.
We'll see exactly what they end up doing. Completely above in surge. Michael taking out Trulex. So second height is also looking strong. Everyone all the way up in the clouds and the skies has a power position to rattle on every single body below.
Here we go, folks. It's getting into the end game here for game 2. As you're seeing, Malabuka, who took out Indreda's trio so early, making some great position on the front side of the storm.
What?
Gets eliminated. Aqua gets eliminated. Fresroki gets eliminated. But Malaku Burstash and
Okay.
are standing hip to hip, looking strong. And they're going to try to clear out the bottom as much as possible.
Čapik si 2 ubil. Čapik si 3 ubil.
Queasy is in a world of hurt, and he cannot go back to back with a clutch like Thomas HD.
Tyson pa Čapik.
The Lynx trio picking him up. Trouble in paradise, though, as we did see Hen go down. Melody still popping in through. That's going to be him, actually, who was the one picking up Queasy. Grail's going down to Shiza, so Steamy Stacks is also active inside this end game. We go all the way towards the river. A halfway point for every single team. Versace Malabuka still alive. We're going to tune in with them to see if they can pick apart any walls. Use that harpoon to grab any other things from inside the box. Not much going to be happening all the way up in this moment. Top 10 teams actually rolling in. A person almost diving inside the box. They don't want to fall down and go towards the water. Malabuka versus Shiza want to stay high and dry. At the same time, Scurry really popping off. Killing the eliminations. He rocks in. Malabuka with another Goomba stop step inside the bottom box. Goes for a different shot. Lands some big damage. Doesn't have much else to do. These guys are picking apart every team below him.
They're playing so well and picking on that low ground. You're right, Shiza. Look at this. They're dipping and diving and getting in and out as fast as possible, putting some big max damage and racking up eliminations here. Look how many they have. They lose Shizo. Malabuka now has to solo by himself, but still a great performance here. They can get into the top 5. Nice hit. Yes. Knocked. Eliminated. Malabuka is on fire.
Thrusters down, now the Rocket Malabuka's just left to take the team all the way to the moon. Zone also bouncing back, so he has a little bit of time to breathe. At the same time, 4ZR saw him active somewhere. He gets traded out. Yes, it's Malabuka. He was the one that actually just picks them up. 47 points for them. They're really going all the way for that first place slot. A lot of eliminations too to wrap things up, but a quiet time now for every single team. Top 6 situation. No one really going down just yet. The match is going to be strained. Malabuka as the solo has to cover every single angle inside this box. Staying hidden for now. River down below. Logan also catching up to him, so every layer is going to get squeezed. Tap pops all Ari's there too, and Michael
Här
takes
som på
down
mig
Artis.
förra
So,
på
a
dig.
little bit of an industry of mid-ground antics going on inside the Sen game. Malabuka, though, staying nice and quiet as Verox and Michael right above him, and also dropping down below. Tayson and Chapman's all the way on height, looking to wrap up this game. Verox is getting close and personal. While Malabuka, though, might be the driving factor, the changing force. He looks for the first shot, 101 to the backside of a different player. He's going for the full finish. That's Verox down. Can this clutch be possible for Malabuka? He'll go back into the zone, just wood up right above him. He's looking for the next shot over and make sure he pops a little bit of health. We're going for this next fight. 84 with a big edit. He rolls in, still going through. 1 feet 2. Malabuka has the high ground and the pump, but it's not enough. He gets denied. Chapix is there to make sure his team stays high and dry. What a solo performance, though, and what a game 2 from EU.
It took FNCS champions to take down the Steam King. Chapix and Tayson's get the job done, and Chapix with 6 eliminations, and we get a taste of the pop-off, baby. It's Grand Royale. Game 2 goes to Hen, Chapix, and Tayson.
Look at that, just the happiness, the emotion from that win, the momentum build up so early in the day and the weekend. That's what Grand Royale is all about. And what a clutch as well. Another solo one we're watching from the side of Malabuka. That was just insane, especially off a contested POI.
You need those clutches. We saw the boys broke down in the desk. The 20 points looking good. Let's take it to the boys.
Hello, we're the boys. What's up? Oh my gosh. First of all, production, let's talk about that dope clip of that win. I love that. That's what I live for, Levin, is those moments in the chaos, that pure bliss where you could say, I got the victory royale in those clutch moments. Absolutely incredible, of course, Tayson, Chapix, and Hen picking up the victory royale with 6 eliminations. And this is all done while Hen gets picked off earlier on, which is impressive, right? Doing this as a duo heading into those last moments of the game. Super tough to pull off.
Yeah, look, of course they did it as a duo, but when you have Tayson and Chapix, they count for like 5 players, right? Like, you know, these guys are phenomenal. It's no surprise to me there what they're able to do. Again, another instance of a player just as a solo sort of popping off. Malabuka was phenomenal, right, Reece?
Oh,
like that's another situation where pressure has just
Benji
formed a
på det som
diamond here.
Nima gör pick. Som Benji Savage på det Nima gör pick.
Yeah, 100%. And it all started off strong. Yeah, again, like Malabuka was just on fire. Same with the whole team, let's be real. We saw the big beam onto Andrea from his POV. We didn't end up seeing it, obviously, from, what was it, when he was picking up Benji at the same time. And from this just sets you up. This is 2 games now that they've won off spawn. 2 games that they've managed to dominate so far. And it's not looking good for Benji Fish's team. And that reign continued into the end game as well, right? Like I said, that set them up. They got the Storm Surge damage there. They got the confidence. They got 3 more elims in the mid game. But when it came to the end game, like the solo clutch was ready.
And for me, I think the worrying thing, if you're anybody else in the lobby, when Malabuka's in such effervescent shooting form, right? When he's just feeling it, when he's just swinging around, throwing out